So congratulations, guys, and thank you so much for joining me today. It's half of what we're doing is purely just showing up, right? So when you show up, it means that uh, you're halfway there to success. Just by showing up, you're opening your shop doors. You're there for people, and you don't need to know everything and be completely prepared before you launch yourself on this doTERRA journey. And I hope today that I can just provide you with a little bit of guidance on how to best guide yourself in this journey and give you some of the tools that we've used that have worked for us that I'd love for you guys to implement into your business and gain the benefits from. So to start with, we're just going to be sharing what we did for us, and we're going to be covering basically the pipes, but kind of my spin on it. And so belief and alignment, how to invite, ways to share, always sharing the opportunity. I think this is something that's really important that we didn't really have the confidence to start with, but I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to begin with just by inviting people to earn the orders for free. And then, of course, structuring and strategy as well towards the end. You guys have still got your matchsticks out and keeping your eyes open. Without further delay, as I shuffle things around, I'm sure you guys are kind of feeling that doing this doTERRA adventure is kind of like stepping onto a rocket ship. And if you're offered the seat on this rocket ship, you just go, yeah, I'm on, let's do this. And you just learn as you go. So how do you guys, can you resonate with this? Is this something that you you stepping into this and you're just learning as you go? You don't need to know everything. You will know things as you need to know them, and you'll grow as long as you're growing yourself in your journey. So just a quick, brief little introduction to doTERRA. You guys by now, I don't need to convince you, doTERRA is different. It's not your average MLM. They're focused on education, helping others. Most of their client base are actually customers, 85% of them. And you go along to one of these training days, and this image that you see on the left here, this is our first convention, and Dr. Hill is up there, and he's talking, sharing his amazing knowledge that he has, one of the founders of doTERRA, about essential oils, and everybody's taking notes. In comparison to some other network marketing companies that you've been to, like events, that you'll go to, it's really based on hype and the profit and the business side. So doTERRA is different. They had the intention from the beginning to change network marketing. They chose not to be affiliated with network marketing bodies, and they are shaping a new network marketing around the world, and they are now the biggest essential oil company in the world in just 10 years. So it really is amazing what they've achieved in such a short amount of time. So this is what you guys might see, the glitz and the glamour if you come to Gala. So this is Renee and I receiving or walking as blue diamonds at the last Gala in January, and it was all very exciting and fun, and got to do my little dance on stage. And it's so much more than that, and it's so much deeper than that as well. Oftentimes, like, people will just get confused with this, this glitz and glamour, but realize that there is so much more to be gained from doTERRA. So this is my why, which is always changing, always will change, and I encourage you guys to also just work and be open to changing it as you evolve over the years. So originally it started with Renee and her digestive concerns, and for me it really helped manage stress, anxiety and insomnia. And it also helped me open up to different tools as well outside of the oils. Went and did yoga teacher training, practicing mindfulness, escaping the mind, and just really indulging in personal growth and absolutely loving it. But we also, get to share this amazing journey with all these people that you see on the screen here. This is at the convention in January. And these are just some of the people that are in our team, some of the very special people in our team. And we get to do it with these people and we call it a job. Like, seriously, it's awesome. So this is something that you can create as well yourself.
I fixed it.
Sorry, I might just have to mute every now and then. So we're going to be, who here that's joining me, who has heard of Share Success or Empowered Success? Just a show of hands. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So Empowered Success, basically what that is doTERRA has acquired Share Success from Natalie and Andy Goddard, which are the biggest owners in doTERRA. Absolutely beautiful people. We got the pleasure of spending some time with them in Alaska on a mastermind trip on a cruise through Alaska from Vancouver, and we got a real insight to how they do business and and what they do basically, how they've achieved what they have, and a lot of it is just loving up the tree. Like, it all comes back to love. Like, it sounds really sappy, but love is the answer. But yeah, there is a system, and this is a great system, Pipes. And with Empowered Success, doTERRA is working on making this compliant for Australia. At present, we can use the build guide, and you can download these from doTERRA.com. doTERRA.com.au doesn't have them available yet because they're not available. And if you're tuning in from New Zealand as well, these will also be available for New Zealand very soon. So a lot of the leadership retreat, which is on very soon, is going to be covering this Empowered Success framework and how we can embrace that and include it into our businesses. So like I said, we're going to be focusing a bit on that Pipes framework, but at the same time, my little spin on the Pipes. So in Prepare, I've titled this Belief and Alignment, and it's because it's come to my attention and my experience that the most important part of this business when you're first starting out is to A, fall in love with the product, and B, fall in love with the company, or believe in the product, believe in the company. So this is something that we're going to see a lot of in our training through Empowered Success. And I think this is a great thing because it is so important to have that belief in those two primary things before you even set out to start sharing. So you can do your affirmations, make vision boards, read personal growth and balance your chakras and meditate all day, right? You can do that, but it doesn't mean it's going to actually get the results that you need. You still need to do the things. You need to be inviting people. We love to use text, SMS, Facebook messages. We find that's it's a really effective way to arrange a contact or a meeting with somebody. You've also got to show up. You've got to make your bliss balls. I've made my bliss balls today. Nobody's here, so I'm going to eat them anyway. I wish I could just feed them to you guys through the camera, right? We'll see how we go with that. When we get the virtual reality bliss balls being able to be passed through, I'm there. I'm going to be embracing it. But you still got to share. You still got to invite. You still got to enroll, and you still got to grow yourself. You've got to do these on a daily basis, but you only have to do them for a couple of hours a day. It's just the consistency that matters. When you are in vibrational alignment, and you can go really deep on this, but no matter what you believe in, vibrational alignment is so important. Before you go out and share doTERRA and you'll shine your light to the world, things will flow so much better for you when you are in vibrational alignment. And you actually start to manifest and attract the things into your life that you want. And things don't feel so hard because you're working downstream instead of upstream. You're not paddling against the current. things are just flowing naturally, and you get what you desire. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that we do on a regular basis, as well as the pipes, to be in vibrational alignment and to help with that manifestation and that attraction and bringing things into your life with grace and ease. But to start with, I wanted to get really practical and come back to the Empowered Success program. And I sent you guys a link, and this, I'm going to put it into the chat right now so you guys can get access to this. And I'm just going to, everyone, sorry, there we go. I'll also, I'll share this in the recording as well. So this is what you need to work on in terms of belief. So this is brand new. This hasn't been shown anywhere but in America in blue and presidential diamond summits. So has anybody actually seen this yet? Okay, good. So I'm not just making claims. So this framework, it basically, it focuses on what you need to focus on, and you have the opportunity to give yourself a rating on what you need to be focusing on depending on what you're heading towards. So Karina's saying yes, she has seen it. Okay, that's awesome. So if you're at elite level, just using the product, gaining confidence and belief in the product, you need to have use and you need to have your experiences to be able to share them with people. That's what we're doing. We're sharing our experiences. So if you don't believe in the product, this journey is going to be a lot, it's going to be difficult for you. If you're just focusing on the company or the opportunity and not the product, then it's not going to be as graceful. It's not going to come with ease as much. So working on your courage to share your experiences with people and helping change those lives. So you can download this and you can give yourself a score out of 10, depending on what you're going for. For if you're starting out, set yourself a goal. A 90-day goal of reaching elite is really realistic. And all it comes down to is just doing one-on-ones and classes, yeah? Premiere, so working on sharing the opportunity. I'm going to share some resources and something that's been working really good for myself and my team as of late, a tool that's been working really well as I clear all the drawings. If you guys graffiti on my screen, then I'm just going to clear it off. So, but sometimes it's amusing what people draw without even knowing. And then as we move up through the ranks here, so who have we got who's sitting at Premier and Elite at present, or shooting for those ranks? So this will be the majority of the people here. What about Silver, Gold, and Platinum? Who's heading in that direction? Awesome, Jody. And then and Tracy, of course, awesome. And then we have Diamond, Blue Diamond, and Presidential Diamond. If I had some diamonds on this call, I'd be very impressed. But you can see how this evolves and this changes as you move up through the ranks and what you need to focus on. And I'm just going to drill into this a little bit more as to what you can actually do. So this is really practical in building your belief in the product, in the company, and focusing on that. If you're going to go out and do anything but the things that you need to do, inviting, sharing samples, doing classes, one-on-ones, wellness consults, if you're going to do anything aside from those things, then do these things that are listed here. And indulge in all the material that doTERRA has to offer and share that. Try not to reinvent the wheel, especially in the early stages. Look at the Empowered Life videos. The information in that is incredible. Co-impact sourcing videos, and just immerse yourself in the reference material that we have. So Essential Life books, Modern Essentials, just put that beside your bed, start to read it, gain confidence using the oils, getting experience, and just sharing that love. And then obviously the company, the opportunity. For me, the company, it just cannot be questioned in its integrity. I'm sure you guys will agree that the moral values and the integrity of the company are just second to none, just absolutely incredible. We couldn't hope for better leaders, and I think, or I know, that this is one of the primary reasons why doTERRA has been so successful, is the intention behind these amazing people that are just so humble and just lead with love. So immerse yourself in some of this, the business material that's also available. And I believe the Build Guide is a fantastic place to start in gaining more belief in the company opportunity, and also just getting your oils for free and showing other people how to do that. Because people, as soon as they're earning their oils for free and possibly earning a little bit more money on the side, you have a member for life. They will not be quitting. They will not be leaving. And somebody who's really happy to stay and to work with. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and why I train and teach people to build to Premier to begin with, even if they're just shooting for elite. Okay. So this is for people who are building to silver and platinum. Some of the things that you need to do. Obviously, this is, they refer to doTERRA as being a personal growth company wrapped up in essential oils. I'm a great believer in that. We're not working on ourselves and shining the light to our teams, the people that we come into contact with, then you're going to move a little slower. Oftentimes, as harsh as this may seem, is that if you're feeling a little bit stuck, there's one thing that you need to look at. Is it the next big, internet solution? This great lead generator. Is it a Facebook page I need to create, or maybe it's my website? No, it's none of those things. It all comes back here to the person that is you. So work on yourself. Keep on indulging and digesting all that personal growth stuff. Work on your beliefs and your affirmation statements, and we'll go into that in a bit. And then moving up through the ranks, you've got gold and inspiring your leaders and your team as you move up into these income replacing ranks of silver and gold and platinum. And then you go a little bit deeper, and the growth never stops. As soon as you think you know it all, then you're kidding yourself. Every day is a lesson, and every opportunity is an opportunity to learn and grow within yourself. So just be aware of these opportunities as they present themselves, and you can just keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper. And human conditions and behaviors, they present themselves interestingly every now and then, but just remember the things that we have learned in your journey through doTERRA. So back to belief in the company. I wanted to share with you something around network marketing. So some of you may have people who say, "Oh, it's a pyramid scheme." Does anybody here ever had that? Anybody? Yeah. Okay, it's a scam. I've definitely had that. And look, you'll find that may happen more earlier on in your journey. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the law of attraction and like fears and growth that you work through, but something definitely that occurred more regularly for us when we first started out, because we possibly didn't have that confidence and some of the tactics that I'm going to share with you guys when people do present themselves with "it's a scam." So some things that we say is absolutely it's network marketing. And one of my favorites from Todd Falcone, who's a great network marketing advocate, is if it's not network marketing, then I'm not interested. And this is something that I've always reflected on as just being such a morally and ethically sound way to do business, is I just get rewarded by helping others in health and in business. Now, I think that's great. We're all helping each other. I gain from helping you, and as I help you, your business grows, and then therefore my business grows. and you're not limited by me as well. So it's entirely up to you as far, as high, wherever you want to take this. To me, that is just awesome, because I worked in local government for 10 years and I was like, oh my gosh, this is driving me insane. I'm just so limited with the red tape, and you have to wait for somebody to die basically just to, to seek the next challenge. So, like I've said before, I believe doTERRA's ethics and values are second to none, and it just takes a little bit of time with these executives who are just so humble and beautiful. They've got all the time in the world for us, and they're a true testament to doTERRA's success, I believe. So for all the facts and figure people out there, so this is more for the men. Have I got any men joining me tonight, today? No, I can see a lot of girls' names, but anyway, that's fine. I'm used to it. We're going to change that. Right, so girls, I want you to show your men these figures, okay? Because if you don't believe in network marketing, take a look at this. So global sales comparison for 2013. They say that money doesn't grow on cheese. Check this out. So American football, we all know the advertising alone that gets spent on NFL during the Super Bowl. It's huge. It's massive. So it's a $9.5 billion gross profit, global sales for NFL. Massive, 9.5 billion. The music industry, all of the music industry, all of the Sonys and record companies, $15 billion, loads of money. Video gaming, this was surprising for me, 76 billion. Whoa, people are playing way too many video games. Anyway, movie industry, $88 billion. We know that's a lot of money in the movie industry, right? The natural foods industry, which is something that's growing. So it wouldn't surprise me with this awareness of everybody evolving and growing in natural health. We have $90 billion. But this is the alarming figure, because what we're involved in is actually a $178 billion business globally. So this isn't something that you can just sort of go, oh, well, it's a scam, it's a scheme. There's big money in this, right? So if you want to talk your love language to your man and give him good reason why you're spending a lot of time sharing the oils and putting yourself out there, give him these figures. This is real. And another real important thing, and this is coming back to belief in the oils, it's so important to use them every day. Even if it's just a basic balance on the bottoms of the feet, lemon in your water, I still do those things. But you can immerse yourself in so many aspects of the oils, in the cooking, in the emotions, in your DIYs, in your making blends. There's so many things you can use these oils for, detoxing. The list goes on. So sharing the experiences that you've had is so important. That's what we do. Using the reference material, it's the expert. Don't feel like you have to know everything before you start sharing these oils. And giving people an essential oil experience. So in your class, if you're just in passing with someone in the street, let the oils be the star. It takes you out of the limelight, takes the pressure off. And just immerse yourself in that continuous learning. Don't think that you ever know it all, because there's more material, more research, more information, more oils that are always being released, and there's always something to learn in every situation. So just going back to vibrational alignment and things that we do to get ourselves vibrationally aligned before we go out and do our classes, do our training, is one thing I do recommend that you do is read the Law of Attraction. It's pretty deep. Read or listen to it. So that's a little bit of homework to you guys, and just learn how to visualize and feel what you want to attract in your life. So it's so important that we combine those two together, the emotion behind it, because that's just sending out the signal of what we want to bring into our life. And the rank planners, which I'm very passionate about, use and recommend and go through and use with my team, is using that affirmation statement. I am a certain rank by a certain date, and this is how I feel when, and in being that. So it has to be present. I am that, and this is how I feel. And then just allowing that to manifest through actions as well as allowing it to come into your life. We also do chakra balancing. We feel amazing when we do our chakra balancing. Come along to our workshop. Vision boarding, we have a vision board. We look at that every day. We use affirmations. And I also recommend looking at Dr. Wayne Dyer's and Om meditation. So when doing my yoga teacher training 3 years ago now, I learned, and we did a lot of meditation. It was a month-long program every day for 3 months, and we did mostly meditation, because that's kind of what yoga is. The Western world's kind of, they lost track of what yoga was all about. They turned it into a workout when it's actually just preparing the body and the mind for meditation. But these are great manifestation meditations, Dr. Wayne Dyer's and On meditations. And just make it a daily routine to practice these things. And it doesn't have to be too long. Just 10 to 15 minutes is all you need to do. And this is a mantra that this is my go-to mantra. So I will use this daily, and I will spread my arms out and say this in front of the mirror, out on the grass in the backyard with no shoes on, getting grounded. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire those around me to do the same. And for me, that's just so fitting in what I do. I'm just sharing and inspiring others to do what I do, and doing that as well. So feel free to really to embrace this. This is something I got from Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap. It's a great book as well. I recommend immersing yourself in. So intention is another very powerful thing that we can do really easily before we go into anything that we do with sharing doTERRA. And once again, Dr. Wayne Dyer, The Power of Intention. It's a pretty in-depth book, and you need to be in the right space to be digesting that. Perhaps you need to listen to it a couple of times. Get the audiobook, just put it on as you're doing mundane activities. But practice just connecting to your heart, to your breath, to source, and just focus on what you want to create in whatever situation you're heading into, a one-on-one, a wellness consult, or a class. So having these intentions of just helping others, rather than getting enrollments, grasping enrollments and, making the next rank. Yeah, making the next rank is really good, and it's going to be really beneficial. But when you have that energy and that intention, then people are going to feel that. They're going to feel cornered. So they're going to retreat. Then the intention to empower and to share is another great one. That's essentially what we're doing. We're educating people in how to use the oils and how to get them. We're empowering people. We are providing the service, but we're also teaching people to be independent. And we also have the intention to provide abundance to others as well. We have that intention to inspire others to expand in abundance, success, and love every day. Then we're doing what we need to do in doTERRA. And if you're really limited on time and the meeting's just about to start, or you're about to start exactly what you are about to head into, just closing your eyes, saying the word intention, connecting to heart space, having a breath will also get you connected and in flow with things. So in preparation, which this whole pipes framework is all about, as my baby is upstairs having a good scream, that daddy's downstairs, you can hear me. So we can spend our whole life planning or preparing, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, like, I love to be prepared and organized. And one thing I've really learned in this business, it's kind of like that rocket ship. You just got to jump on board and go as it happens. And there's great power in just keeping it simple as we head into these situations where you're just jumping on the rocket ship, because it's so much easier to be organized when it's simple. Okay, so you know, I'm a great believer in keeping it simple. We can spend the rest of our lives preparing and organizing rather than doing the thing. But at the same time, it's good to do some of this preparation and in writing down your long and short-term goals. There was a study done on university graduates to see who actually achieved their goals, and the simple act of just writing down your goals in comparison to just saying them out loud was alarming. Like, the people that just wrote them down in comparison to the people that didn't write them down was some huge percentage. I think it was over 50% of the people that just simply wrote down their goals achieved them in comparison to those who didn't. Obviously, you can go deeper than that, but just starting off by writing them down is a great move. I've just got people chatting here. Awesome. How do you suppose? Dr. Wayne Dyer, yes. So scheduling your first workshop. This is something that we recommend people do straight away. So as soon as somebody says to us, I want to build a business, right? I want to build a business. Then we go, right, let's book a workshop. Let's book a gathering with family and friends. And we encourage people to invite their warm market, so just people that they know. And it doesn't necessarily have to only be people that they think would be interested in oils. Invite everyone along that can come along to their first workshop. It can just be close family and friends, is completely fine. And have a list of these things for a class. Just write them down and tick them off as you prepare yourself for your first class. Setting up your doTERRA website is really, really simple, and this is a great way to enroll people. This is what I teach people, is the easiest way to enroll people is through your doTERRA website, because that enrollment form is completely filled out with your ID details. And then check out our mentoring program. You can really go in depth into this whole preparing phase, but we've done manuals on this. Feel free to go to our website, pureoils.com.au, under the resources tab, and sign up to our mentoring program, and it's all in there. One of my favorite things for preparation is Abraham Lincoln's famous quote for give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and he's going to spend the first 4 hours sharpening his axe, rather than sitting there and just chopping away at this tree for 6 hours and absolutely burning himself out. The person who is prepared will move through their experience with so much more grace and ease than somebody who's not prepared. So who has heard of Gallup Strengths Finder test? Has anybody heard of that? Got some blank looks on our faces, so I'll take that as a no. Cool. Thanks, Karen. So Strengths Finder is something that doTERRA is embracing now. So expect to see more of this coming up as well after leadership training. So a lot of the leaders are embracing this Gallup Strengths Finder, and the basis of it is to work on your strengths. So what you're good at, what you enjoy, what brings you joy, and then the things that you're not good at, to maybe look at delegating them to a team or outsourcing them, or getting somebody else to do them. So these are some of the strengths that you'll see in the founders of doTERRA. And one thing that you'll see is really common amongst all of them. Actually, 5 out of the 7 all have belief in their top 5 strengths. So you can see how important that is in having that belief and focusing on that when you're first starting out, and then inspiring that in others. Having that belief in the oils, in the company, is just going to be a solid foundation for you moving forward. So these are my strengths from the Gallup Strength Finder test. It's a pretty intense test. You get 20 seconds to answer a question and rate yourself on, I think it's like 200 questions. So this is what came up for me, and yeah, I can definitely resonate with these things. So I focus on what I'm good at, and there'll be other things that I get Renee to help me out with, or I delegate to team, or perhaps completely outsource. And so I encourage you guys to take a look at that Strength Finder and focus on what you're good at, which is kind of the opposite of what we're being taught of. Focus on your weaknesses and do them until you go insane or get better at them, right? And they've done tests on this Gallup Strength Finder philosophy, and they found that years down the track, people that have focused on their strength their weaknesses have just naturally improved over the years, and they're happy in their career, they're happy in life, they're successful in life. So this is something that's I think it's going to be great to embrace and bring into your business, into your life. So moving on to the I in pipes. So how to invite. So
doTERRA, you're interested in doTERRA. We need to get some oils on you. So here, smell me. Here, breathe this in. You're going to be my builder. I'm so excited. Here, 3 things about oils. They're natural. They're faster. They're less expensive. CTPG. You can use them in the air. Put them on topically. You can take them internally. Here, let me dump some down your throat right now. Here, tip your head back. Come on. Oh, gas chromatograph. Mass spectrometry. Do you have a headache? Oh, I'll give you a headache. Here, don't get the past tense. Let me hit you in the head. I'll hit you in the head. You need to get the power of 3. We got to talk about power of 3. Do you have any sore muscles? Are you sore right now? You need deep blue. We can get some deep blue if you're sore. And then you need balance. You need balance every day. And you need LOV. You got to have LOV. You got to look young. You got to feel young. Do you want to look young like me? You need more energy. You need less pain, more mitochondria, less inflammation. You need to look young. You need to feel young. New year, new you. Terrazyme, Zendocrine, OnGuard, Mitomax, GX, PB. You're my new builder. Big hug. We're so excited. We're going to build. Sorry about this. We have no oil for that.
Okay. Can anybody relate to that? That's kind of how it can be when you're first starting out. Just saying goodbye to Renee. She's taking Indy out because she's a bit noisy upstairs. Poor Bubba. Yeah, look, that can kind of be what it's like when you first fall in love with the oils, and that's okay. That's great that you've got that much passion for doTERRA and for the oils. Just be aware of, sometimes this fire hosing, over enthusiastic energy can be a little bit overwhelming for some people, because remember, they haven't had their experience yet. Yes, have passion. Yes, have enthusiasm. But just be aware of just, overdoing it. It can happen. So, in saying that, always share the oils, because I know about you guys. Have you ever had a situation where you thought, damn, I wish I had shared something, with that person, because they're saying they had a cold or a flu or a sore knee, or, perhaps emotional concerns. And I wish I had just had the confidence to say something and say, hey, have you tried essential oils? This has worked for me. Here, have a sample. So if fear sets in, just remember that if you're not sharing these oils with people, then you're really doing them an injustice. By keeping it to yourself, it's kind of a selfish act. So get over your fear and just put it out there and say, hey, this works for me. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising, and that's how network marketing works. It's by people sharing their experiences and sharing what has worked for them and worked for others. So a great way to do this is to always have the oils on you. I have a keychain, just the doTERRA keychain, which you can get in your back office, and it's only a couple of bucks. You get some empty vials in there, and then you just fill those up with your favorite oils. So this picture doesn't have all of the 10 oils in the essential collection, but that's kind of the theme that, that is in this kit here. What I recommend that you do, and look, if your 8 favorite oils happen to be in the Essential Collection kit, that's great, because that's what we focus on when we're sharing the oils on first introduction. But put oils in there that you are passionate about, that have been life-changing for you, and you're naturally going to want to use them, and people are going to see you use them, they're going to smell them, and you are naturally going to easily be able to share your experiences with them. There's no point in having oils on your person that you barely use, and you're just hoping that you're going to meet somebody that needs this oil. So use and carry the oils that you are most passionate about. And it's just become so much more natural to share what oils that you have. And there's so many ways to carry them. I know some ladies have scissors and staplers and all sorts of cool stuff in their handbag, so they can carry full bottles. And some people have little small sample cases where they've got maybe 12, 30 samples, and then some people take their whole case with them. It's whatever. Remember, keeping it simple, I believe, is a great thing. So I love the keychain. So who has heard of the doorways of openness? Have you guys heard of the doorways of openness? You can, show of hands. Yeah, awesome. So Claudia's saying no, and we've got a couple of blank screens as well. And but that's cool, because I'm here to talk a little bit more about it, and it's okay to hopefully you guys don't mind hearing it again, but sometimes it just sinks in the second, the third, the fourth, or fifth time that you hear things. So with the doorways of openness, this kind of just provides a sense of relief for us, right? Because we need to realize, to be successful, largely successful in this business, we do need to share the opportunity. But with doTERRA, it makes it really easy, because the oils, they're not only really effective, people will get an experience straight away as soon as they try them. So it's a whole lot easier showing people how effective essential oils can be, rather than something like a shampoo or a supplement range or something like that. We've got it really easy, guys. So just sharing a sample with someone and saying, would you be open to learning more about natural solutions? This is something that is really easy for everybody to achieve. And one thing that I love to do, and we do this at the markets, this is a strategy that we teach people. That's okay, Claudia. See you later. Enjoy your engagement. So is if I would you. So if I gave you a sample of Easy Air, would you mind if I just grab your details to check in and see how you go? Make sure there's a transaction there, and don't feel guilty. Certainly do not just go and shower the world in samples and expect everybody to come back to you. You must get their contact details, and you must contact them. Giving away a sample and not getting a contact, or not having their contact, is just like throwing money down the street. It's not going to work. You need to get their contact details, and you need to follow them up. Once they've had an experience with the essential oils and they've come along to a class, would you be open to learning more? Come along to my class. Then you can say, would you like to earn your oils for free? Sorry, would you like to earn your products or your oils for free? I don't know many people that wouldn't want to earn their products for free. And we'll go a little bit more into this, and as to, it's a great first step in sharing the oils and the business side, rather than let's do a business and make heaps of money. So once they've stepped through that doorway of sharing by opening up their home to just some friends for a gathering, then the amount of people that would be open to the income opportunity and what's next for them. Do they want to replace their income? Do they want to subsidize their income? Do they just want to earn their oils for free? And all of those choices are great, they're fine. But unless we ask them and we don't go through these doorways of openness, then we don't know. We don't know. We can't assume, and it's also progressionary as well. So knowing that this is progressionary provides us a sense of relief, and just by sharing the oils, people will walk through these doorways of openness. Don't go out and just look for cookie cutter builders that are just or expect to find those people. Attract them into your life and say, I am attracting motivated and driven, coachable business builders into my life, into my business. That's something that you want, but dropping that expectation on yourself when not everybody is ready to build the business straight away, because they need to at first believe in the oils, believe in the company, and then move from there. So how to invite effectively? So is everybody getting bums on seats? Is everybody getting people along to their webinars? If not, then perhaps you need to just look at how you do things and just change them up a bit, because literally the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing again and again and expect a different results. Now, there is also a flaw in this theory in doTERRA, and Jessie Reimer shared this at her business training last year, and she said that's literally what doTERRA is. Is to do the definition of insanity, and I do somewhat agree with that, in that you do need to continue to show up and invite and hold your classes, regardless of if it's one person or 10 people showing up. Yes, but if you're not getting anybody to your classes consistently, then just take a step back and go, okay, how can I change this? How can I do this more effectively? Is it me? Is it something that I can work on? Is it a fear? Is it something that I need to grow through? Is it the way that I invite people? We find that using text or Facebook message is the most effective way to arrange a phone call or arrange a meeting or arrange somebody to come along to an event that we might be holding online or in person. So, keeping that message really simple, positive, personable, and relative to what the person wants. So you've got to tune into what's in it for them. They don't want to be hearing about solutions for arthritis when they've got respiratory concerns. So find out what they want and they need. And there's a couple of scripts there that you can see. So with getting people along to a workshop or a class, and it's really important that you coach the hosts. And this email template is available from our website, pureoils.com.au, in the resources section. And a personal invitation is always the most effective, hands down. I usually find, as a reflection upon myself, if I've had a class where nobody's shown up, and that did happen to me, this far into it, probably about 6 months ago, and I was like, okay, well, what didn't I do? What can I improve? And I just didn't personally invite anyone, and it's because I just had too much on my plate, and I thought, people will come along, and hey, they did it. So, and it's because I didn't personally invite everyone. So make sure when you have a list of people you're inviting, or people that have said yes, that you reach out to them personally, and that can be through a text. It can be through a Facebook message. It could be through a personal invitation, face-to-face. It could also be a personally handwritten letter as well. I find that really effective. Or it just could be doTERRA's local empowerment kit invites, having them on hand. And as you meet people and share samples and ask them, are you open to learning about natural solutions? And they say yes, then you go, cool, I've got a class on. And this could be the catalyst to actually arrange a class in a month's time or in 2 weeks' time. And you write down the date, and then you hand that to them and say, I'd love for you to attend and come along and learn more about what they want to know about, right? Insert health concern here. A reminder is really important. So just leading up to your class, your gathering, remind people, really looking forward to seeing you. I can't wait to share the power of essential oils and what I've gained from them. And as far as Facebook goes, some people, they find Facebook is really effective, and that's how they communicate with their family and their friends. I'm not saying that Facebook doesn't work. And I'm going to go a little bit more into social media, what has worked for us, because of algorithms, all that sort of technical stuff. But create a Facebook event, but don't just create a Facebook event and expect people to see it, especially if it's on a public page. Public pages are designed you have to pay for the advertising for people to see it. So if you're just starting out, you're not going to be paying for advertising, then don't expect people to see your event that's on your public page. Use your personal page, and we'll talk a bit more about that, but the personal invites is where it's at. We use that Facebook event just to keep in touch with our people and post a picture of your bliss balls, all the setup that you've got. And these are just some examples here that I've got for an aroma touch day. We've got an intro peppermint bliss balls example there. And you're just sending that out to people and saying, hey, look, I've set this up for you. Can't wait to see you. And just really keen. This is what I've done. This is what you get. And people can see the effort that you've gone to. And they're going to more likely say, you know what, kids, I need this. I need to get out of the house. I need to spoil myself. I need to prioritize my health. And bye-bye. I'm going to go play with some oils. So we touched on coaching the host, and when you're doing classes, this is really important because you're going to get all walks of life when you're organizing an event with somebody, and there could be different stages of their life, different beliefs, different energies, etc. You could have somebody who's really upbeat and loves to have people over, life of the party, really energetic, and inviting people and getting people along to the event will be really easy. Like, you barely need to coach them, and they're great. They're the people you want, right? But then there might be some people that don't really know how to invite effectively. And a great way to connect and make them realize this is just to say, hey, do you want your event to be successful? I don't know about you, but when I have an event like a barbecue or some people over, I like people to come along. So the effort that I've gone to gets enjoyed by everybody. So if you want that to happen, just like I do, then here's some things that you can do. And it's along the lines of what we've just gone through, that personal invite, setting a reminder, the day or the night before, taking a picture of what they've prepared and just saying, really looking forward to seeing you. Here's some food, some essential oil inspired food that I've put together, and I can't wait to share with you guys. And just, always staying in that positive space. You can say, I hope you come, or you can make it. That's not really encouraged, not really inspiring for people to come along to something like that. Stay in that positive, uplifting space. So we've also, I'm in this presentation, I've decided to keep the bread and the butter in there, right? Because doTERRA is different. They want personal connection and community and people to be teaching classes, because this is what doTERRA is about. This is how doTERRA is different. We're getting into people's homes, into their lounge rooms, and we're making contact with these people, and we gain trust and building on relationships. But it's not to say that you can't embrace technology, and this is something that we've more embraced as time has gone on. So we did the bread and the butter for the first 3 years in our sharing journey, and that's what got us to diamond. That is what will get you to diamond. You need to be teaching classes, you need to be booking them in, and you need to be inviting people to the opportunity. But we've also been doing these great promos or groups on Facebook, and we've decided to do a seasonal theme called Thrive Through Winter. And we'll use those through the winter months. It's templated up, so it makes it easy for us to be able to duplicate this over the months and invite people to sample and qualify these people who are participating. Because once again, similar to if I were you, we don't want to just be handing out samples and then they just sit on the shelf. They don't get used. People don't get the experiences, right? People don't have the time, or perhaps they've heard of the oils from somebody else, or they could just be, they just love sampling and just getting samples from everybody. We've had that, right? You want to make sure you're not just giving out your samples to everybody. So quality samplers, people that you're sending the samples to, are way better than just sending samples out to everybody. Qualifying is so important. Just get 5 quality leads or 5 quality spoilees or samplers in that group to share the experiences of everybody in the group. And follow up is so important. Once again, exactly like sharing a sample, follow up portion is in the follow up. It is so important. Don't just depend on their experience through the Thrive promo that they are just going to go and enroll themselves. It does happen. It is really cool when that happens. Majority of the time, you have to book in a phone call or give them the information that they need to enroll and guide them through the process. This is new for them. It might be not new for us, but it's new for them, and we need to get back to the basics. So you've got some information there that's a little bit irrelevant up the top. Spoil yourself, April, that has changed. It's changing every month. This one is Thrive Through Winter, June. There will be a July one. You guys are more than welcome to embrace that, qualify your participants, send out the samples. I've got all the information on how to do this in our share build group. So watch the video on how to do the samples, and send out the information that's needed. And then also make sure the people that you are inviting to Thrive, and let's just say somebody goes through Thrive through June, have a great experience, they get a kit, then this is the kind of people that you want to say, hey, would you like to earn your oils for free? Would you like to earn 20% of what anybody who you refer to the next Thrive Through Winter promo? You'll get 20% of that, and you can use that money to buy oils for free. So tapping into their network as well. And you send out the samples. So once again, you want to make sure they're qualified, but you send out the samples from these people who have grown belief in the oils, and you're showing them how to get their oils for free. So this is a great duplication vehicle with these promotions, but you've got to get the samples out, you've got to qualify people, and you have to follow up, and you have to ask people if they would like to earn their oils for free to take advantage of this. And this will just continuously grow your community and your contact list. Now we talk about warm and cold contacts, and the sky's the limit when you show somebody else the benefits of these oils, and they embrace that and want to share it with others using the power of the word. So do you guys find that you may struggle with getting people along to a wellness consult? Is this something that you guys occasionally have? Like, does everybody come along to your wellness consults as soon as you get a kit? Because I know that for me, and feel free to yes or no, or type something in, give me some love, let me know that you're there. And I do have one respondent. Awesome. Yeah, not always easy, right? Yeah, Tracy's saying that she struggles. And to be honest, for me, if I just say, here's your kit, and let's do a wellness consult. If I just rely on a welcome email, and I just send a welcome email to everybody that that gets a kit. If I just do a welcome email and expect them to book in a wellness consult, and I did that for everybody, then I wouldn't be doing many wellness consults. So you need to incentivize, in my experience, is the best way. I then come before sign up after that person. Yeah, okay. So that's another great strategy there, Karina, is to, through your one-on-ones, I recommend the way you do your one-on-ones, and I know it's focusing a lot on doing classes, and I'm going to touch on that in a little bit, but there's more than one way to do this business. You can do one-on-ones. It's just going to take longer, but they're super effective. They're super effective. And what I do when I do a one-on-one is I just go straight to wellness consult and get the Live Guide out, and I set up and implement one of these wellness plans that's in the Live Guide, and get people into a routine of gaining the benefits from these oils and really honing in on what their top 3 health priorities are. But to get people along to these wellness consults, we find that it needs to be incentivized. So we love the Essential Life book. You don't have to give out the Essential Life book. It could be the Modern Essentials book, or it could be another reference book, or it could be oils, or some tools, some vehicles to help people gain the benefits from the oils that you can offer as an incentive to get people along to a wellness consult. So when somebody gets a kit, and this is a form that's available on our website. So once again, you go to our website and you under Work With Us and Resources, there is a template that you guys can download, and you can pre-populate, because there's 3 certificates on one A4 sheet that you can just cut out and give to people when they get a kit to use as to cash in, to say, hey, I'm ready to implement a health plan to help me and to really get the most out of these oils and my wholesale account. That is what we're focusing on with the wellness consult. So when people are on the loyalty rewards program, make sure that you set a reminder. If you can grab their phone from them and put it in their calendar, then do that. Just make sure you know them well before you grab their phone from them. But set a reminder for yourself. I do hear people say, "Oh, well, I explained the loyalty rewards program to them, and if a repeat order comes, then no, that's their fault because I've told them." The way I see it, and what we practice, is we remind people, if we've gone through the loyalty rewards program and how it works and setting it up with them through a wellness consult, then we'll set a reminder and just send a little courtesy text and say, hey, just a reminder, we've got to go change your order before it auto ships again. Is there anything I can help with? And this is just a service that I think people that need when they're setting up their LRP for the first month or 2, just to help them gain confidence, especially with people that aren't confident with technology, in managing their monthly order. There's a bunch of videos. They're on the doTERRA.com website. Use them. If you have people that don't want to talk on the phone, and this is happening more and more lately with our millennials and the generations that are coming through, they don't have time to talk on the phone. I can figure that out myself. So just send them a link. Hey, just go here, and this is how you create and manage your LRP. We also are finding our Oil Academy is really good for people who are just starting out. So we've got some familiar faces here. So Oil Academy is a secondary education series for people that once they've got their kits, then we can invite them to join this group and learn how to get the most out of their oils once again, and the most out of their wholesale account. These are the things that we're focusing on when people get a kit, when we're doing our wellness consults, when we're joining them to Oil Academy. So with Oil Academy, and the way we use that is it's a Facebook social learning group. And I love the social learning groups. And this is our second Oil Academy that we've run. And I decided to reinvent the wheel, go ahead and do what I tell people not to do, and create this platform and make it so it can be duplicated. And I'm happy to help anybody duplicate that. for their teams. But the way this works is it's set out into units, not the same as what the way that spoiled promos work or Thrive Through Winter. And people can work through the content over 2 weeks, a month, however long they want. But you can also gain insights, and this is what I really like about about the social learning groups in Facebook, is I can see how much people that are engaging have completed. So when I get to halfway, or I get close to the end of our Oil Academy, I go have a look and see who's really close, or who's done nearly 50%. I say, look, you're so close, just a couple more days to go. Take a look at the content. And as people look at the content and learn at their own pace, they gain more confidence and belief in the product and what doTERRA has to offer through their wholesale account. So I'm finding and loving Oil Academy. I'm not sure if you guys have embraced and used that. It's not a replacement of a wellness consult, but it can help get the message across about how to use the oils, how to get the most out of them, how to get the most out of your wholesale account. For these people that don't have the time to do a wellness consult, right? These millennials, these people that have a 20-second attention span. And in saying that, I acknowledge you guys for being with me today. It's 4 hours. It's a long time, right? So we're gonna take a breather at some point very, very soon and just have a little bit of a stretch. So one thing that's also really important, especially for these people that haven't taken up the opportunity to do a wellness consult, to join Oil Academy, to start using the oils. The worst thing that can happen is somebody gets a kit and just sits on the shelf. Like that's just sacrilege, right? We want people to be using these oils and gaining the benefits, even if they don't order again. That's fine, but just please use your kit. I know it's new, I know it's something different, but how can we help? So just reaching out and engaging. And this is a script that we use when we're trying to re-engage people, find out how we can serve them best. I believe this can really be refined down. This is something that Renee and I put together, and we just gave everybody all the options that we can offer and just said, just reply with a number. And once again, people are limited on time. So people have just been able to say, 7, 8, a number of things that they're interested in. Then we know where people are at and how we can serve them best. So take a screenshot of this. I can give you guys the presentation as well. I can actually even share that text in the chat. I can do that. But yeah, start to embrace this way of communicating people to see how you can serve them best and re-engaging them. Don't lose hope if you can't get somebody along to a wellness consult. There's so many platforms that we provide you that you can take advantage of, and you need to be speaking the love language of the people that you're reaching out to. So this is a Text Blitz challenge. Once again, I'm going to set this challenge for you guys. It's hard for me to give you prizes when you're online, but this is something that's going to really grow your business fast. Is to have a Text Blitz challenge with yourself and your team. So have a look at some of these examples here for hosting a class, coming to a class, and just trying a sample. And just take a screenshot of these and use these as an opportunity to just reach out to people, and you'll be amazed at how people reply to you. Don't discount anybody. Reach out to people and say, hey, how about it? How about you come along to my class to learn more about natural solutions? Make it applicable to where people are at. If they're brand new, try a sample. If they try to sample and they've gained experience, come along to a class, learn more. And perhaps somebody is ready to earn their oils for free. You can reach out and say, would you like to host a gathering of family and friends? Just keeping it really light. you can earn 20% of what anybody gets on the day. Hopefully you guys have got a copy of that. And I'm going to take this opportunity to take a breath, because we've been talking and sharing a lot. And I want to take this this opportunity as well for you guys to ask some questions about inviting as well. So feel free to, in the chat, if you want to take yourself off mute, grab a drink of water, and just okay, you guys are absolute troopers. You can see the enthusiasm just oozing out of you. You'll want more. Okay, we can do more. We can do more. You know what? I'm gonna try and let you guys experience this bliss slice that I've made though, because this is gonna keep me going. Hang on a second. Okay, so just a tip. So this is just something that I've whipped up here, and I'm telling you, if you think bliss balls are great, so if you think bliss balls are good, then these are even easier. So bliss slice is where it's at, just a little glass container, and you don't have to sit there and roll these balls up. You can just put them in a container, put them in the freezer, and they're good to go. So I'm going to need something to prize out the first piece. But hopefully I can give you guys a virtual experience. Not that I want to rub it in, but these have actually got citrus bliss in them. So good. But when people get that experience with the essential oils and food brings people together. So providing an essential oil experience through food, you are hitting all the senses. You're hitting the heart chakra and the solar plexus, of course, and then the essential oils kick in, and for whatever the person needs, it's gonna go and benefit them. So if they're feeling a little bit low and they have some wild orange bliss slice or citrus bliss, they're gonna feel amazing, and you've given someone an experience. Oh, fucking beautiful. So that recipe, it's in our mentoring program. It's free for everybody. It's a series of manuals that get sent out over a 40-day period, and you just work through them. Feel free to use it, share it with your teams. It's a really good way to just get people started in the right direction. So, who's ready? Ways to share. Let's do this. I'm pumped. Got my bliss sliced down and ready to go. Righty. So, I love to camp, and I think I love camping so much is because you have to keep it simple. Like, if you overcomplicate camping, then it becomes stressful and you don't get to relax, right? So I'm a huge fan of keeping it simple in so many aspects of life and business. We've got the local empowerment kit there. Use it, order it. It's the cheapest way to get your wild orange. It's cost $3 for a bottle of wild orange, 5 ml. Great to give people. And this is what we do with our wild orange, is we use them to incentivize people attending our workshops and say, hey, you bring a friend, I'll give you both a wild orange. If they're just brand new to doTERRA. If you get a kit tonight, I'll give you a mini modern essential book. and a wild orange. So I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of a journey here. Now, yeah, sorry guys, I wish I could give you some of that bliss slice. I've got so much there, you should have come. Never mind. So I'm going to go a little bit of a walk here. Hopefully my camera extends. So can you guys see what I've got here? I'm just going to stop this share. So you should be able to see that a little bit better now. And I'm just going to go over preparing some of these resources. So first and foremost, having sound reference material, which is the expert at your class, okay? So having your Essential Life with you and or your Modern Essentials app, depending on what you prefer. Have some other things that you're also passionate about that some people might ask you. So pregnancy, oiling for pets, etc. And of course, having the local empowerment kit, which we've got there, along with our wild orange. And I have my wild orange on display. So take it out of the box and let people see your wild orange along with your mini Modern Essentials books that you can say, anybody who gets a kit tonight, I'm going to give you a wild orange and a mini Modern Essentials book so you can start getting the benefits from the oils straight away. And you've got resource to be able to use them straight away, right? And then we also want to have out our printed and cut out drawing entries. So this is also available on our website and also through the doTERRA website. You know, it's a bit of a rabbit warren sometimes, the resources that are available on doTERRA, but this is great. And I love the drawing entry sheet because it tells you when people give you their details, what they're interested in. So you can really, you can reach out and hone into what they want, what they need. And then I use that, I just fold it over and I use that as a drawing entry just to win a little make and take product. And I usually do a multi-purpose cleaner just with lemon and On Guard. So showing people how to get the most out of that essential collection or home essentials kit. And then I've got sample bottles as well because there might be somebody there that just really needs an oil for a health concern straight away. So just showing that you care. Roller bottles are great to have just to show people how they work. Take along other things that you're also passionate about. I love Lifelong Vitality and DDR Prime, so I take them. And I also take along these five favorites here. And the ones that I've got there are Clary Calm, Vetiver, Balance, Smart and Sassy, and Lavender Peace. And the reason why I take them is because they are some of our 5 other favorites apart from the 10 favorites that are in the Essential Collection and the Home Essentials kit. So you guys can see really how simple I keep that. Sorry, concentrating here. I've got my man brain firing. You can only do one thing at a time. Okay, so I keep it really simple by just having that essential collection and just going through those 10 oils. That's what I spend most of my time at a class, is just getting people to experience those oils. Straight away, I start with giving people the option to taste peppermint. And I do that just by getting the peppermint out the, I'm actually going to stop this share again. I'm going to show you guys. So I say to people, after we go through the sheet, I say, anybody who wants to try peppermint, this is nature's teaspoon. And I'm just going to come around, I'm just going to put a little half drop on the back of your hand, like so. That's actually a drop. And then you just lick it off. That's for people who want to taste the peppermint essential oil today. It is strong. And for those who are just comfortable with smelling the aromas, just hold your palm out for me. I'm going to put a drop in there for you. You're going to rub them together and then just cup them over your face. Inhale the aromas. I actually needed that because I've been a little bit blocked up this week. And you can experience the power of 28 cups of peppermint tea in one drop of peppermint essential oil. So straight away, as soon as I start talking about the essential oils, I'm talking about the power of the essential oils, I'm encouraging people to, or providing people with an experience with the oils. That's what we're focusing on during our intro classes. So just going back to our presentation here. And making sure we also have a host gift pack. So when people are hosting, we're giving them the commission. We're giving them 20% of what everyone buys on the day, right? That's a gift in itself. That's awesome, super generous. doTERRA is generous. But we also have a little gift for the hosts, and that could be, you know, just a couple of rollerballs, maybe an FCO and a spray bottle or something like that. Because when we thank the host and we say, thank you for hosting your class this evening or today, here's a gift pack for you. And anybody who else wants to host a workshop or feels that they've gained some information from here they'd like to share with their family and friends, come along and see us, we'll book in a date for you. So just putting it out there that other people can host. So booking a workshop from a workshop from a workshop is totally doable. You can do that. So things that we say when we're opening, obviously thanking the host, giving them the gift, and I love to set the intention. So we talked about intention at the start of our training today, and I set the intention to just say, at no point do I want you to feel like you're pressured to buy anything. We're purely just here to educate and inspire and provide you guys with an essential oil experience. And then what that does is it just puts me into a non-pressure, relaxed state, and also the people that have attended as well. And it does the absolute opposite, in positively the opposite. If you have that intention of just making the sale, people will feel it, people will backpedal. And just because you have people at a class who don't buy a kit straight away, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it takes 7 introductions, 7 experiences for people to be open to getting a kit. And that's okay, because you can continue to invite them along to things. You've got their contact details through the drawing entry, and you can continue to reach out to them. They'll come around when they're ready. We've had people come around after 3 years of introducing them to the oils, and that's fine. One thing we also do, and I recommend that you take, is just a notepad and ask people what they'd like to get out of the class today. Just a short little sentence, grab people's name, and then you know what you are going to be focusing on. Because if you start talking about, let's just say you're talking about respiratory issues, but everybody there has arthritis, then you're not going to be tuning into what they want to hear, what they want to know. So you're just personalizing that class for them and focusing on solutions around respiratory or digestive, or whatever the common theme may be. You find that groups of people have a common theme. People do things together, and this is why intro classes are so powerful. Doing things in groups, people grow and eat and do things in groups. Change. The oils are a catalyst to change. So things to say when you're opening is to quickly go over the handout. So with the handout, I hold this in my hand after setting the intention and saying welcome and thank you. And I say that this is the class outline. You can just read this if you prefer to learn like that, or you can just listen to what I have to say. This is yours to take home. And this is going to go through over everything that we're talking about today. And then if you turn the page, this is the price list. I like to call it the wish list. And if we talk about a certain oil that you're interested in, then you can put a little tick or a love heart next to it. And that's going to be really good to come back to when you are making the choice of what oils you'd like to get today. But then we've also got the kits, and I'm going to be focusing on the Essential Collection and the Home Essentials kit, the 10 oils that are in those two kits, because these 10 oils can address just about every health concern and do so many things in the average household. And then at the back of the form, we've got our enrollment form. So at the end of the class, when you're ready to fill that out, I'm just going to come around and help you with any questions that you might have and help you fill this form out. So straight away, as soon as I've explained that handout, I've started closing. I've started closing as soon as I've opened the workshop with that explanation of assuming the sale. I'm assuming that people are going to be filling out the form at the end of the class. And most likely they will be if you're just providing a good, fun experience with the oils. So be confident, assume the sale, and say, I'm going to help you come and fill this form out at the end of the class. And just stand in that power, in that confidence, and take complete ownership of that. So just briefly going over what you should cover. So facts tell, stories sell. You can be completely researched and confident about the science, and that's completely cool. I'm here to tell you that people don't really want to hear about constituents and the science side of the oils. They just want to hear how practically they can use it in day-to-day life, how practically you've used it for your kids, how practically you've used it to address your digestive concerns, your respiratory concerns, and emotional concerns. That's what they want to hear. People don't really care about the science in general behind it. It's okay to have when people ask those questions, but don't go in with that intent to just talk about the science. People will get sleepy, pack your matchsticks, right? We're packing our oils and we're having a good time. We're giving people an experience with the oils. Definitely share any promotions that doTERRA have going. There's always something happening, whether it's BOGO on the day that you're running your class, whether it's a 200 PV promo when somebody buys a Home Essentials kit, they could get a free Sally-Bell, which is worth over $100. Like, that's really compelling. So you want to tell people these things and then focus on what you're passionate about. So for us, the doTERRA difference in terms of co-impact sourcing, it's sourcing the oils from their Aboriginal country, working with developing countries, healing hands, how ethical the business is, the CPTG. So we're going through a little bit of a compliance thing at the moment with the TGA. We just need to be careful in saying certified pure therapeutic grade. We just say certified pure tested grade essential oils when we're sharing, especially online in the public eye. This is why getting into people's homes is so effective, is we can be a bit more open with our language, and we'll talk about compliance in a bit. But in the meantime, if you're doing and sharing online, certified pure tested grade essential oils is fine. And a lot of times people come up to us and they say, are these oils organic? And we say they're better than organic, they're 100% pure. They're awesome, right? So another thing is cost per drop, and what we do, and this price has actually changed for frankincense, but I'll hold up a bottle of frankincense and I'll say, this is $90 for a 15 ml bottle of frankincense. And then what I proceed to do is I give everybody in the class a drop. Now, it's fine if you're not in the position to do that, but just remember, it's only 30 cents a drop, okay? So you're showing people your generosity. You're providing them with an experience with this amazing essential oil, but then you're also giving them an understanding that it may seem expensive for that initial investment, but when you compare it to something like, other medications that you just drop like candy, Panadol, for instance, that can be 50 cents to $2.50 for a dose, depending on what brands and strength you're using. So it's cost effective to show people that it is also important. People are budget conscious. They're conscious of how they're spending their money, and the oils are cost effective. And also just prioritizing your health as well. Some people may not be prioritizing their health. Let them know why you prioritize your health. So for me, prioritizing my health is so much more important than having the latest and greatest car or the biggest TV in the neighborhood. You can't take that with you. That doesn't really bring you long-lasting joy. Only true health within yourself and happiness is true joy, and it can't be duplicated or replicated in something external to you. So just going a little bit deeper on that cost per drop, but you get what I'm saying. Emanate that belief, and don't be scared. I know we've talked a little bit about facts tell, stories sell, but it's okay to say, look, these oils are scientifically backed, especially if there's men in the room, or there's more left brain logical thinkers in the room that like their science. They like the facts. So don't be scared to get your book out. So this is the point where I get my book out, and give me 1 minute. I'm just going to get it. It's just here. Of course, my book's right here. So this is actually my favorite way to share this part of the book, and also about the science and how amazingly powerful these oils are. And because we're not making any claims here, all we are doing is just showing people a really, really powerful reference. This is our essential oil Bible, right? So I just say to people, look, these oils are scientifically backed. They're not just hocus pocus. And I just open the book, and so happens to be frankincense. And I say, here's a bunch of reference and citation down the bottom here. So feel free to go and have a look at that, some of the benefits of frankincense. But I'm just going to list some of the common primary uses for frankincense and what you can use. And I just literally read that out. Cancer and tumors, seizures, Alzheimer's, depression, wound healing, scars and stretch marks. This is a really cheeky way to let people know how powerful these oils are without standing up in front of a group of people and saying, making medical claims. Because all you're doing is just showing them where to get the information on how to get the benefits of the oils, which also has all the sciencey constituents and stuff like that. So if people want to see that, they can have that in their book, in that Essential Life book. So we found that is a really good way to get that message across. Christchurch is a long way to come. It is. I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to New Zealand in when am I going to be there? I'm going to be there in a month's time. Less than a month. I can't wait. Hey, it's going to be so good. Got Rome touch and business training, and then a little bit of skiing afterwards. Woo! I'm pumped. I am absolutely really excited about it. I went to New Zealand last year, had such a good time with you guys. I love my Kiwis. So just show them the book. It's the expert, right? Let the book be the expert. You don't have to be the expert to share your experiences, third-party stories from others. We talked a little bit about being compliant over the course of our training session today. You can still get the message across by using the book without making claims, and don't do this online. Do this in small groups. When you're online, you need to be really careful at the moment about the claims or the things that you say. So in a public forum, you can only say at the moment what is on the product information pages on the doTERRA.com.au website for the Australians. And it's actually the reverse of what it used to be. Australia used to be really open and free to say what they want, and this is just changed as of recently because doTERRA is gaining more attention in Australia, and they're working with the TGA at present to make it more open for us so we can make claims in the future. So I'm really excited about this and keep focusing on that rather than how restricted we are at the moment. We can still get that message across by just sharing our personal experiences in these intimate one-on-ones and classes, doing the, what the sauce, the bread and butter of doTERRA. Like this is the bread and butter of doTERRA, and then how we can so effectively get the message across. So when you guys are going through your local empowerment kit sheet and you get to the end and it talks about live, share, build. So this is in your local empowerment kit, and it's towards the end. It's on point 9, and then it talks about the loyalty rewards program, and then live, share, build down the bottom. So do not skip over this bit. You need to put it out there that there is an opportunity involved in this, and take ownership of that. If people have reservations about it, then that's their stuff, not yours. Let people know that what your goals are, like what you're doing, if you're subsidizing your income, if you intend to massively change the world, let them know there is an opportunity behind this, and we have to let people know. And if you go out on this alone, it's gonna be harder to achieve this by yourself. Working with people who have the same common interests and goals as you is so much more enjoyable and achievable. So attract the people that you want to do this and go on this journey with. So we talked a bit about standing proudly behind the loyalty rewards program. This is something we had to learn because we figured, oh look, we're starting to enroll people fairly easily, but the loyalty rewards program is something that we didn't have the confidence to share the benefits of, and this just comes with doing it. The more you do it, the more confident you get. So for us, I've created a video about the loyalty rewards program. It's in our Oil Academy. It's also on a YouTube channel. Check it out, youtube.com/pureoilsoz. And it's the most intelligent way to get your oils. It's the only way to get your oils. Here's a couple of scripts that you can use. And in closing, I actually say you can earn up to 55% off retail prices with your wholesale account. So I don't just say you get 25% off. I say you can earn 55% off. How do you do that? You do that through the monthly order. Keep it light. I believe loyalty rewards program, or using acronyms, LRP, isn't going to really encourage people. Use language that they're going to be familiar with. You could say it's like a frequent flyers program, but with your oils. And if you just order on a monthly basis, then you're going to get your shipping for free, and you're going to earn up to 55% off. This is the only way to get your oils, and really take ownership of it, because even if people aren't enrolling in LRP on the night that they get their kit, you've just planted the seed, and they're more interested in and open into learning more about the loyalty rewards program. Some people will enroll people in the loyalty rewards program when at the point that they get a kit. This isn't something that we've done a lot of. It just completely, but doTERRA has also provided statistics on how beneficial it is to go onto the loyalty rewards program, or when people do go on the loyalty rewards program straight away, how much the statistics of how long they hold their account, how long they hold their LRP, and what they continue to do is quite compelling. So it all depends on what your intention is, what you want to do. But yeah, still take ownership on it from the start, and have that intention to show them how to get the most out of their wholesale account and get their free oils, right? You have to be on this monthly order to make the most out of your wholesale account. So closing, we talked about closing from the beginning, but it's really important to mention a couple of things, and to do a couple of things. First and foremost, to make it fun and enjoyable. One thing that you may or may not have seen when I was showing you our little setup of the things that we take. And we've got a checklist actually of things that you can take to a class, and I'm just sharing that link right now in the chat and sending that to everybody. And feel free to download that. It's a really easy way to just see what you need to take to your class. But a little bowl doesn't have to be a stylish wooden one like this. Just to do a little aromatic dressing. Get your Vanessa Jean on. Get some FCO, some wild orange, lavender, and frankincense. And you don't have to do, the full lymphatic flow working from the arms. Do what you're comfortable with. But get people standing up and moving and applying these oils. It could just be applying them to their hands is fine. They're a little bit more introverted. But the intent is to make people feel good and show them how they can use these oils. And aromatic dressing is a great way to do that. And they're going to get a free wild orange on the day that they get their kit. And lavender and frankincense is in their essential collection or home essentials kit. So they can get the use or the benefits or start doing their aromatic dressing straight away as soon as they get their kit. And then of course, asking people, have you had fun here today? Do you think there's some other people in your life that could gain from the oils? I would love to do something similar for you. Come and see me at the end and we'll book in a date. And obviously you get this free gift. And then also asking people the question, do you feel you would be empowered by having these oils in your home? So connecting to how people would feel by having these oils in their life, not thinking too much about it, or do you think you want these? Like when people start to think, they start to think, oh no, maybe I don't have enough money now, and but feeling empowered is a really good way to tap into their emotional senses of how these oils will make them feel. You're going to feel awesome with these oils, right? Make sure you have a diary, and if you do want to give the host, I actually believe that giving the host their gift when you attend their class is the best way to do it. And that way people see you giving the host a gift, and you're not going to be giving something to a host that perhaps won't fulfill that promise of hosting a workshop. So just promise them they will get a gift when you come along and do that workshop. And it doesn't need to be extravagant. You can spend $10 on a host gift and they'll be very, very thankful for what you've given. So I've shared the checklist with you. It may seem like there's a fair bit of stuff to mention and go through in a class, but just know you've got the checklist there. You can sit back at the end of your class and just reflect on the things that you did mention. There'll be things that you skip and miss, that's okay. But it's just a constant learning, a constant way to grow and improve the way that you do your intro classes. So this is an activity that we won't be able to do, but I want you to do this tonight and practice on your partner, on your dog, on your friends, whoever is willing to listen to you. Eric Worre has a great strategy that he uses when you're first starting out to say to people, hey, I really honor, I really respect your opinion and your experience. I would love for you to give me some feedback on how I share the oils. Do you mind if I practice on you? So just saying to people, do you mind if I practice on you? And I respect your opinion. They're gonna listen to you, right? Sometimes people are obliged to, especially family and friends. But if you do a great job, then it's highly likely that they might actually want some oils as well. So this is a bonus. Practice on your family and friends. Focus on a section that you love to present, and then maybe another section that you need to improve as well. So we're focusing on that strength, but we're also improving on things that we need to improve on. But, so there is more than one way to peel a grape. And actually, I didn't think this was a thing until it's amazing what you find on Google. You can actually peel, there's people peeling grapes out there. It's bizarre. There's a robot that somebody's made that peels grapes. So there's more than one way to peel a grape. There's more than one way to shear a sheep. And you can do this through one-on-ones, like we mentioned. It's very effective. It's an intimate environment. You can get really deep. You know, sometimes you can be in a one-on-one for 2 hours. You're like, where did those 2 hours go? But it's a great opportunity to connect with people at a deeper level. Webinars, embrace technology. Using Zoom. Zoom, you can get a free account. Just go to, just type in Zoom in Google. You go to the website, I think it's zoom.us or something bizarre like that. Create an account, it's free. You get 40 minutes of webinar time for absolute free, and you can invite up to 50 people on a Zoom call for a free account. Perhaps you prefer to use Skype. So yeah, I recommend Zoom. Some people prefer Skype. I like Zoom because you can share resources, share screens, and it's free and it's awesome. I find that I mean, with Zoom, you just create an event, you invite people, and you get a link. And when people click on that link or select it when they're on their phone or on their laptop, it just automatically does everything in the background, installs the app, installs the program, and then boom, they're on the Zoom call. It's so simple and so effective. There's other platforms, Skypes and Google Hangouts, but these platforms, they work. You guys are here, right? If we didn't have this technology, then we wouldn't be able to have this time together. So embrace it. Mailing lists. Look, this is a little bit of a dying thing amongst the leaders that I was on a university professors use it for foreign language speaking tests. There you go. Yep. So people in education are using these technology. There's schools that teach via long distance, and you get that face-to-face connection with you guys. So I get to see your lovely faces. This is cool. Like, you got that body language that you don't get on a phone call. Mailing lists. Look, I don't know about you guys, but I get I don't read my spam or marketing stuff. I've got enough going on in my life, and I feel this is just something that is sort of dying off a little bit. But everyone communicates differently, and it's certainly worthwhile still engaging those people. 30% engagement. You're doing really well if you create a mailing list and a campaign, and 30% of the people you email engage and click and look at the information. So don't discount it. MailChimp, once again, you can get a free account up to 2,000 contacts, which is plenty to get started. And you can easily create a mail campaign and make it really engaging and informative. So markets, we've also done markets, and we've found this is a great way to tap into your cold market. Because we reached out to everybody that we knew, and there weren't a lot of people that were interested. Like doTERRA was pretty new, 4.5 years ago when we started sharing. People, they weren't as open as what they are now because it's not as familiar. But it didn't mean that it was just not yet. But markets, they really allowed us to tap in, and I've met some amazing people at markets, including Tracy Ford, who's on our call now, and then we've just, there's Tracy, how you doing? It was down at the good old faithful Avoca markets, and Tracy was adamant that she was not doing the business, and I never forced her at any stage. It was just the oils that worked their magic, and it's a great way to just create relationships and build trust and generate leads. What we focus on in markets is sharing a sample or perhaps sharing an oil at retail price and getting their contact to just check in with them, follow them up, and see how we can serve them best. Obviously, follow-up classes are also really important. If you can invite people to something on each occurrence you make contact with them, then you're increasing your exposure, you're increasing the ways that they can use these oils. Hey, come along to my EO202, which is just a follow-up class that we do, templates on our Google Drive, which you can access through our website. Emotions. So Essential Emotions is a great class that really looks at the emotional side of the essential oils, of kind of a follow-on from the intro. And you can do make and takes, make and roller balls. You could do make and take for a plethora of subjects. You could just add make and take to any of the subjects that you teach, and literally people will come in the hordes. And we found that when you charge for a make and take, and it could just be to cover your costs, which is fine, in making that blend, then you're more likely to have people come along to your class. And if it's free, it's bizarre. You know, people would just kind of go, oh, it's free. They must be trying to get something from me. They're coming along, they're getting something, they're taking away a blend, and you're charging them for it. Then they're more likely going to come, they're going to have fun, and they're going to walk away with an essential oil that they can gain the benefits from. Chakra balancing has also been something that's really been popular and beneficial for us and our advocates and our customers. And then also just looking at seasonal themes. So at the moment I'm doing winter workshops, and I'm doing them online and on site. So at the moment I'm standing at my stand-up workstation that I've made. It's called the Cow, the computer on wheels, and I can wheel it around the room and pan around, and it's really cool because people get that experience of being at our workshop space in the cool of winter, but without even actually having to be here, which is awesome. And just like there's more than one way to peel a grape, there's more than one way to make a friend. We have technology, we have social media on our side, right? We can use this to our advantage. This is just the ultimate duplication platform. And when it comes to Facebook, and I swear my parents just think I spend my whole day on Facebook, like that's my job. If you ask my parents, I'm pretty sure they would say, yeah, Byron just hangs out on social media all day. It's not the only thing that I do, but I do use Facebook. It's a great platform to reach your team, to reach your customers, and it's very time effective. So create events when you're first starting out on your personal page. Yeah, you can go and create a business page. You can do that, but you're not going to engage an audience straight away. Doing it on your personal page, you're going to have more engagement. Some people might say, hey, don't do this on your personal page, but that's their problem, not yours. But I do encourage people, if they're going to do something, is to create a group and build an audience. And the only way to build an audience, and some people may see, people that build their business online as look at an easy way out. I would argue that you may have to do even more work if you're doing it online. Yeah, it's going to be really effective, and you can reach potentially thousands of people. And you may get to a certain stage where it grows really quickly, but it does require a lot of work. And for our support group, I was the only one who was commenting in there for a long time and just encouraging people to engage. So you have to engage daily if you do decide to build an online group or audience. So that might be too much for you at this stage. So just be aware of how effective these online tools are and the kind of work that you need to put in. So you can encourage engagement through incentivizing, encourage people to share testimonials about an oil. It could be an oil of the day and say, hey, cardamom, it's not one of the oils in the top 10. So educating people about it and saying, this is how I love it. How about you share some of your experiences and what you use cardamom for, and the winner gets a free bottle of cardamom. That's just encouraging people to interact. Spoil yourself. We talked about that. Oil Camp, Oil Academy, we talked about that. And just to touch on a business page, if you want to get any exposure, you have to pay. This is how Facebook algorithm works. You have to pay for any exposure on your business page. It's just not going to get any reach, and unless people are following you, which will happen, it will become organic over time. But initially, to build that up and to get engagement, it takes a lot of work, and it's actually designed for us to have to pay to get exposure on that. You can do great targeting. I have done that. Target audiences, and I do a target of females between the ages of 22 and 50 generally, 50 or 60, and I'll target on areas that apply to what we're going to be talking about, and because that's our market. I've come to grips and accepted that there's not as many men that are open to using essential oils, and that's completely cool. We'll eventually get there in changing that. Instagram. So Instagram is owned by Facebook. People are saying, "Oh, I'm over Facebook, I'm going to Instagram." Instagram is owned by Facebook, so Facebook is laughing. But there's more of the younger generation that is using Instagram. That's the way that they communicate, right? And it's very short. It's very visual, and you're limited to what you can actually do on the Instagram platform, apart from just sharing an image, perhaps sharing a story, and you could invite people along to an event or something like that. You could be sharing a blend. Or you might make something on Canva or something like that. You can also share short videos as well on Instagram. That's going to change. So Instagram is growing. Eventually people will get sick of Instagram and go to another platform. But for the time being, it's kind of like something that's really rising. A lot of people are going to Instagram and having an Instagram account instead of Facebook. I'm not saying Facebook is dead, but Instagram is growing. And generally what we do and how we use Instagram is I link up my business Instagram account with my business Facebook page. So any pictures that I post, I take an Instagram picture, design it with Canva and post it with Instagram, and then it gets shared to Facebook as well. So it's kind of two birds, one stone. You're not wasting time, you're being time effective. But remember, all of this technology that it can really go down a rabbit's warren, and it can be a very confusing realm to be in. Once again, just keep it simple. I highly encourage you to embrace the platforms that we've put together. And I love this quote too, Tracy. This was shared with us at the Diamond Day, and I think this is really reflective of that, once again, that bread and butter of what doTERRA is all about. It's about getting into people's home, connecting with people, helping people with their health concerns, emotional concerns, and empowering others face to face, making connection. So we've got all this technology, and I realize you're all joining me online now, but we still can see each other. But at the end of the day, it's not what you've said, what you've posted, the quality of the graphic on Instagram, which you may determine whether people look at it or not, but it's how it makes them feel. How you make them feel when they come to your event, or you come to their home and you sit with them and say, how can I help you? How can I serve you best? Here's some essential oils. Here's how you apply them. This is how you can integrate them into your life and live a happier, healthier, more abundant life. And that's what people are going to remember. So just remember these core basics before you get lost in all of the technology and the solutions, and paying for the things that other people might be saying. I have the key to success. Like, I have the platform, the thing that you need to make sure that you are going to be successful in this business. Because remember, doTERRA is different. We're connecting with people. So how's everybody feeling? Feeling good, feeling good. Still with me? We got some thumbs up. Everyone's in agreement. Has everybody enjoyed it so far? Awesome. Good, great, inspired. Yeah, that's what we want. All right. Fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, it is, there's some core basics that we need to continue doing, even at blue diamond level. So, one thing I actually was meant to put in this, this presentation is doTERRA, they did a study, and they've looked at, in multiple angles, multiple advocates, and looked at the figures and the activities each and every time for what makes leaders successful in doTERRA. And the two activities that successful leaders do ongoing in doTERRA is invite and enroll. So as long as you continue to embrace the fact that you will be continuing to invite and enroll, and this will reduce as you step into more of a leadership role and you become, you're inspiring people and mentoring people, you will be doing less of that, but it's important to continue to invite and enroll yourself. You've got to walk the walk to talk the talk. And these are the key things that these successful, highly successful leaders all have in common, is they continue to invite and enroll. So, don't need another bliss slice right yet. But are you guys ready to keep on going? Excellent. It looks really sunny where you are, Karina. Looks beautiful. The sun's already set behind my mountain at the moment, so it's gone like really dark now. And Renee said to me just before she left, she's like, even though nobody's coming, are we still getting pizza tonight? So we can look forward to that. So enroll. So this is a really important message, guys. I want you to really take note of this. And it's something that we need to do to withhold the doTERRA culture. And I know we've just gone through Diamond Club, and I love Diamond Club. Like, the foundations of our business were built on Diamond Club. Like, we really learned how to do the business through Diamond Club by working with our team. But it's so important to ask this question: have you heard of doTERRA? It's as simple as asking that question. When you enroll someone, when you're introducing somebody to the oils, when you're opening a conversation with somebody, have you heard of doTERRA? And people are going to say yes or no. Yes, my girlfriend, she's sharing the oils, and yeah, watching the minions, the quad bikes, awesome. That's cool. Good multitasking, like your style. You'll have people who have been introduced to the oils, and the ethic is in doTERRA is to say, okay, well, if you have a sister that introduced you to the oils, a friend, a mother, a partner, whoever that introduced you to the oils, then you should go back to them to get your enrollment, to get your kit. We don't want to be poaching enrollments. And at the same time, people will also have choice as well. They will have choice, and you need to accept when you've done the right thing and you've said, have you heard of doTERRA? And you've referred back to the person that introduced them, and perhaps that may not be reciprocated back to you, and a person you have introduced to doTERRA has either unintentionally enrolled with somebody else, or somebody hasn't asked this question. Then you need to accept it. But as long as you continue to teach this ethic and practice it, then good karma will be returned to you, and you will have people that choose to come to you because of what you have to offer. So this is really simple. I'm going to fly through this enrollment section because that's the main part that I wanted to focus on here, because I know you guys are pretty advanced. You know what you're doing when it comes to enrolling. You're already enrolling people, right? So one thing, another code that I want to share with you guys is we always enroll in the host's or the referee's name. And the reason why we do that is because we want them to earn their oils for free. We want to share the opportunity with them. We want them to earn 20% through the Fast Start bonus of whatever their friends and family buy. And we do this by getting them to write a wish list. And then at the end of the workshop, we sit down with them and say, okay, well, 4 of your friends have got home essential kits today. That's nearly $200. So you're going to easily pay for your first 100 PV at least Loyalty Rewards program order. And this gives you the opportunity to talk a little bit more about, you know, how to earn in doTERRA. Have 100 PV LRP, enroll people, you get money. It's pretty basic, right? You can teach them more about the benefits of the LRP, great opportunity. But we're doing this as doTERRA's code and ethos about people that are hosting and referring is we enroll in their name, because that Fast Start bonus is for them. You get 10 or 5%, sometimes you will get none, but that's okay, because that you're thinking big long-term here. You're thinking uni level, you're thinking rank, thinking leadership bonus pools, power 3, all that bigger stuff than just a little Fast Start bonus. That'll help you when you're first starting out, and people you introduce and enroll, you'll still get 10 and 5%. But then you've also got to let go of that sometimes too. And also be prepared to do all the work. You're going to be the one who does the enrollments for people that just host a workshop. You're going to be the one who does the wellness consults, depending on where the host is at. But the majority of the time, they've just got their kit. They might have not had their kit yet. So you're going to have to do all the work, but you're investing in your pipeline, in your people here. So let go of that Fast Start. Now, when it comes to enrolling as well, this is a new thing that's just come in, where doTERRA has actually converted a lot of our wellness advocates to wholesale customers that didn't have a downline. And I love wholesale customer. And we are actually embracing and enrolling most of our people as wholesale customers, apart from the host, of course. The host needs to be a wellness advocate to earn the 20%. But the majority of our other enrollments are wholesale customers. And here's a really blurry picture, sorry about the quality here, as to some of the differences. But I'm going to go through why we're doing wholesale customer towards the end of our training. But the main difference when people are asking about the difference between wholesale customer and wellness advocate is that you can earn money being a wellness advocate, and you can't earn money as a wholesale customer. And that's it. There's a couple of more finer details there where you don't get a website, you don't get a team tab, you can't do enroller moves, or sorry, you can. Now this is the beauty behind the wholesale customer. You get 2 moves, and this is why we're using wholesale customer, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I enroll someone as a wellness advocate, the pressure is on to try and find out whether they're going to live, share, or build, and where you're going to place them in your organization within 13 days of them enrolling. It's a hard choice to make. But now with wholesale customer, you get the opportunity, because doTERRA recognizes that most people are customers, to focus on the oils, to focus on the belief in the product. And then when they're open to earning their oils for free and hosting the workshop, they can upgrade their account to a wellness advocate, and you get a second move. You can move them anywhere in your organization. So if it's going to help with affinity, so having common interest, occupation, recreation, dreams, all those things that you need to consider when you're placing somebody as first priority, or it may help with power 3 or rank advancement for volume. These are all, you get a second go of this with wholesale customer, and this is why I love it. You cannot sell the product as a wholesale customer. There's no affiliation of being a wholesale customer. It's really easy to upgrade a wholesale customer to a wellness advocate. It's actually a really alluring button in their back office that says become a wellness advocate. And I've had people click on it not knowing what it does, but they've clicked on it and they've been upgraded. Unfortunately, if they do that inside of 90 days, then they can't be moved a second time. They pretty much grow where they're planted unless you transfer them into a position inside of their sponsor tree. And I'll go into that a little bit more. But the key thing to take away the difference between the wellness advocate and the wholesale customer is that the wholesale customer, after 90 days, they can be moved a second time anywhere in their enroller tree, okay? Anywhere in their enroller tree. So if you're enrolling in the host name, then they can move anywhere in that enrollment tree underneath the host. If it's enrolled by you, then they can go anywhere in your organization, which is awesome. So at present, when we do this change, and we're going to come up to the anniversary day for when all of our wellness advocates that didn't have a downline were converted to wholesale customers, the little green men that appeared in your back office, as of July the 1st, or it's towards the start of July. If you know the date, then please feel free to type that into chat and let me know. I know it's approximately at the start of July. We can move, we can do a second move for these people that were automatically converted by doTERRA. But when we do that, it's not automatically happening at the present. So when you reach out to someone and say, hey, you want to host a workshop, or I'd love you to move to a different position in my organization where potentially you can earn money, all you need to do is become a wellness advocate, click the button. You need to send an email to placements@doterra.com and let them know of that placement change for that upgraded account, because at present, it's not going to appear in under team and placements. Eventually it will, but at the moment, it's a manual process, and you have to let placements@doterra.com know of the change that's taking place when these wholesale customers upgrade their account to a wellness advocate after 90 days. So is everybody kind of still with me when it comes to that? Yeah, we got a thumbs up. Thanks, Karina. Yeah, I've got a whole lot of other blank screens you can type. Yeah, Nicole's with me. Tracy's with me. Yes, awesome. Okay, sweet. Thank you so much, guys. Just anytime that you need clarification on something, just send me a chat or take yourself off mute. Let me know, please do. This is really basic. Okay, I'm just going to rush over this super quick. 3 ways to enroll people. Enrollment forms. This is my favorite way in a class, because you get to take away the enrollment forms. You're not at somebody's house for typing in enrollments or using your phone or something like that. We've tried that. It can work, but I know that enrollment forms are the best. Sometimes people aren't comfortable with giving a credit card detail, and then what I'll do is I'll enroll them with the doTERRA InfoTrax app on my phone right in front of them, and I'll give them my phone and I'll just say, here you go, put in your credit card details, and the enrollment's done then and there. You're not walking away with their credit card details, and it's all done and dusted. So that is something that you can do. Over the phone is a great way for people to do it that way. Hey, doggy. So over the phone, most of the time, we have had people who enroll themselves. Generally, this doesn't happen very often, and you need to guide people through the process. Arrange a time to call them and step them through it, or do it yourself. Get familiar with your website, put the picture in, and use this link to share with people. No worries, Jody. See ya. Thank you so much for joining us. You can always catch up and watch the recording whenever you get the opportunity. But thank you so much for joining. So moving right along. So deep breath once again. Even if you have a blocked nose, I have my spearmint that's diffusing here. And if you want to burn the candle to burn the midnight oil, as the euphemism saying goes, spearmint is so energizing. When Renee and I, like, you know, are going for a rank, or, you know, doing a mass follow-up or something like that, diffusing spearmint, my gosh, it is so uplifting and so energizing. Like, we've been using that some late nights, and we'll look at the clock and just go, whoa, it's midnight. Where'd that time go? Don't do that too often. Use it when you need it. So I want to focus now on always sharing the opportunity. And I want to ask you guys, you know, who here has loads of people who are ready to build a business straight out of the blocks? If you've shared that opportunity, have you had that? No, I certainly have not. I have not. And out of those people that, you know, you may have who are ready to build the business without really knowing what's involved, how many of them are actually willing to do the activities, to show up and to do the activities required that you need to do, that we've been covering today, to make it happen? Like, that number goes from a very small number, you know, 1 or 2 people that are ready to build the business, who, you know, it's slowly dwindled down, because it has to be the doorways of opportunity. It has to start with the product, has to earn your hours for free, believe in the company. It has to start from there. Generally, people aren't ready to build the business straight out of the blocks. This is a slide that was shared with us at on Diamond Day in January this year for a convention, and it just is a little bit of a statistic there on how many people are actually just customers of doTERRA. So on average, it's around about 85% is pretty safe to say. 85% of people who come into doTERRA are customers. And that's completely cool, because it's a great product and people want to gain the benefits. So for us, you know, sharing the opportunity, I'm not sure about you guys, but, you know, it can be a little bit daunting, a little bit scary to share the business opportunity behind doTERRA. And for us, I know when we were first starting out, that's what we were taught. We were taught, no, you only build under builders. So we're looking for builders, right? Which are few and far to come by. And, you know, it took us 1 year to find a builder that would actually do the activities that you're supposed to do. And you know, it was out of complete luck. And yeah, so we're looking for this Wonder Woman, and our Wonder Woman was Marky Humphreys. And obviously, you know, we led with the product, and then we did share the opportunity, and she took it up, and she's very self-motivated. But we've grown our skill over time, and we've learned that it has to be a doorways of opportunity and a time thing. And we'll talk about this more now, rather than just looking for those cookie cutter business builders that are ready to do it straight out of the blocks. Yes, continue to manifest and attract this into your life, but also understand that 85% of doTERRA wholesale account holders are customers. So why wouldn't we be focusing most of our attention on our customers and inviting them to the opportunity to earn their oils for free and learn more about the income opportunity with doTERRA? So generally, when I've found, when I ask people, let's build a business together, and this might be at a wellness consult, how would you generally feel? It's usually a fear thing. Like, people are like, whoa, what is going on here? This guy's crazy. I'm out of here. I just wanted to learn about the oils, and now he's saying, let's build a business together. So one thing that is that people are going to do is they're going to say, I don't have time for that. People are going out of business all the time. That sounds way too hard and ambitious. No thanks, I'm good. And you possibly have deterred somebody from doing that, from just going straight down the business path. And this is where doTERRA is different. And this is so much more achievable and so much easier for everybody to invite to people to just earn your oils for free. And the way that we invite people to earn their oils for free is obviously verbally, but we also have this great little trifold, which I've made a template of. And so you'll notice that this one has pure oils on it. And the examples in our presentation are all pure oils branded with our pictures on it and stuff. But I've also created a template that is non-pure oils branded, and that's free for everybody to use, to put your own pictures, to put your own logo in there, and to use that as when people take you up on the opportunity of, would you like to earn your oils for free? Or perhaps you want to share this with friends and family. You say, yeah, sure, look, here's a little bit of information about it, and you can just hand that over. Another thing you can ask, hosting a gathering, perhaps family and friends want to hear about how the benefits that you've gained from the oils. So one thing in my growth, in my personal growth, since being introduced to doTERRA, one thing I loved is Jeff Holson's Slight Edge and the whole philosophy around time being the key factor in what makes or breaks us, and determines our success. So anything that we do over time is what molds us into the people that we are. So whether you choose to eat a cheeseburger today, or for the next day, or for the next week, month, year, you may not notice when you have just one cheeseburger, you think, oh, well, this isn't too bad. But if you do that and make that choice over time, you're going to be negatively impacted health-wise. Whereas if you choose to, go for the salad, or go for a vegetarian meal or something like that, some whole foods, good food, then you are going to benefit from it. So the choices that you make on a daily basis over time are going to mold us into the people that we want to be. We get that choice, right? But in our philosophy, our knowing, this is also another key from Jeff Olson's Slight Edge, is our knowing, our philosophy is the difference between the way that we make our choices. So our knowing that when we provide people these doorways of opportunity, that over time they evolve and step through these doorways as they feel comfortable to earn their oils for free. Perhaps they want to know more about the compensation plan. Perhaps they want to come along to a doTERRA event. And for me, I know, and this is something I've taken on from Eric Worre's GoPro, his teaching is the closest thing you can get to a silver bullet is getting people along to events. So inviting people to events is so important to the next thing that they can learn, be encouraged, be inspired by. And these doTERRA events are just a great opportunity to learn and grow. And I highly encourage you to come along to whatever doTERRA events are offered. And doing things in groups is awesome fun. So we know that over time, relationships and trust are built and solidified because this is a relationship business, and trust needs to be formed before people choose to walk towards you and walk with you in this path. If you want people to work with you, then they need to gain that trust. You need to connect with them at the level of being a friend and being a good support agent. And you may see people moving really, really fast, but just know that forward is forward. As long as you're doing these key activities of inviting, enrolling, educating, inspiring, growing yourself, then you are going to move through these ranks. It's inevitable. Yes, it's going to take time and investment, but when you choose to do these actions and do them on a frequent basis, a daily basis, like 3, 4, 5 times a week, then you're going to move inevitably through these ranks. And this is a really realistic goal that everybody can achieve over that period of time if they just consistently do these tasks that we've been talking about on a frequent and regular basis. And so just, touching on the whole, well, this person's just become a presidential diamond and they enrolled last week. That's going to slow you down, because comparison is the thief of joy. If we're comparing and bringing jealousy into our lives, into our team, into our world, it's actually going to slow us down. So realize that you are on your own journey, and everybody is going to be doing this differently. Be inspired by others, take on what other people have done that have been successful, but don't use that as fuel to slow you down. Don't become jealous, and don't woe is me. Be inspired and happy for the people that are achieving around you. Don't go into the drama. And this image that you can see here is my lovely wife Renee. If you don't know her, she is one of my biggest and best teachers, and she's actually a primary school teacher by trade. And she taught me, if you don't ask, you don't receive. I was always taught to not openly receive when people were even offering things to me. That's just something that, a belief, a condition that I had. I was taught that that's not polite. Where Renee, I would see her flowing around through life, and she would just put it out there and say, oh, how about this? And then she'd be receiving all of these things consistently, and I had to sort of, learn that from her. And, we have to ask if people want to earn their oils for free in order for people to stand up and say, yes, I want to host a gathering of people. I want to earn my oils for free. I want to come along to a doTERRA event. I want to learn more about the income opportunity. We need to be asking this question and sharing the opportunity of abundance that anybody can get for us to be growing our team, to be growing our business. It is an essential part. Sharing the oils is essential, and so is sharing the opportunity. So really easy with this Earn Your Oils for Free guide, because we're, people are joining a community. It's a supportive, beautiful community. The Pure Oils community, I'm so proud of how loving, nurturing, personable all these beautiful people are in our community, and how much they have to give with their stories, with their experiences. You become part of this community when you get a kit, and you just need to host a casual get together with a family and friends, and we'll teach you how to invite. You earn 20%, and we'll show you how to get the most out of your wholesale account with the LRP or the monthly order. When you refer friends, you continue to earn your oils for free, and perhaps you want to take it to the next level. So we're just planting in the seed with our Earn Your Oils for Free resource. Now, in concept, everything we've gone through is relatively simple, but then there's also the behind the scenes workings of, the things that you need to do in the back office. When does the host need to have their LRP set, and how much does it need to be set at, and all of those things, the steps, the nitty gritty behind the scenes that you need to know to be able to do that for your host, and that you can also duplicate to your team. So this guide, also available on our website, teaches you or shows you how to get people's oils for free. It's the how-to guide, it's the steps, and there's a couple of other resources there with the trifold and the wish list that you can give to the host that they can use to get for free. This is where you get it from. All of the resources that I've been talking about today are on our website. Work with us, and resources, and they're free for everybody. So please make use of them, or use them as inspiration to create your own. So who here has seen the build guide? Tracy's seen it. Of course she has. she uses it when she is inviting somebody to the opportunity, when somebody has said, yeah, I want to learn more about the income opportunity. And we use the build guide to get people inspired at the possibilities. Jody uses all the time. Yes, Karen does as well. Karina, yes, I am preaching to the choir here. Love it. Okay, so build guide. I use this and the success strategy, which I'll show you in a minute, to build excitement. So here's the possibilities. You know, where do you want to take this? Do you want to pay for your product? I believe you can pay for your product at premier level. And then you can supplement your income from the silver up to the gold level, I believe, is a good supplement. I know people who've replaced their income at gold. Everybody's on a different wage. You know, in our demographic where we're from, gold will replace a full-time income of a stay-at-home mum or a part-time mum quite easily. Platinum, look, we're moving into $100,000 a year here. Diamond, 200, and it goes up from there. So this is really inspiring. It gets people, you know, starting to think about how, or the possibilities and how they can earn this money. We're starting out with a fast start, and that's what we want to focus on when we're sharing this with people. Don't try and explain uni level or leadership bonus pools or even the power of 3 to people when they're first starting out. Just teach them about the fast start bonus and the 20%. The other ways they earn will come over time. And a really interesting thing to notice on that graph again as well, as you can see the colors there, purple for fast start is a consistent, you know, this is how much you'll be earning. And then we have the power of 3 bonus, you can see once again is quite consistent over a period of time. And then we've got uni level and leadership, and this is where the big money comes in. Uni level, and as long as you structure correctly, and we're going to go into that, and you go up through the ranks, then those leadership bonus pools are very, very exciting. So people get to choose the pathway that they want to go on. You know, do they just want to earn their oils for free? No worries, that's cool. That's where people go first and foremost. We want to go through those doorways of opportunity. Supplement, awesome. Replace, even better. What do you want to achieve? When you're qualifying people, tap into what they want doTERRA to bring to their lives. Is there some goal that they have? Spending more time with the family, holidays, you know, new car renovations, whatever. What do they want to achieve out of doTERRA? And you can remind them on those days that they might be having challenges, and they will have challenges, that this is what you're working towards. This is what you want to create in your life. This is the vehicle that will help you get there, what aligns with your values. And we need to get back on track here and just motivating them and getting them re-inspired as to what they want to get out of doTERRA. One of the first things that we do is get people to write a names list. This is in the build guide. Everybody can write. It's really achievable for everybody to be able to write a list of names of 30 people that they know. You know, they used to have the 100 names list in the build guide. It was a little bit daunting, so they've cut that down to 30 because everybody can easily do that, especially you're not discounting anybody. And obviously setting a goal of you know, reaching elite 30, 60 or 90 days. They're all really realistic goals. So the other thing that we also share with people on introduction to the opportunity, when people say, I want to know more about sharing and building, is we share the success strategy, because this is, and once again, this is a template for you guys that's not Pure Oils branded, that you can add your own logos to. So that's on our website. Actually, it's only in our Google Drive at the moment, but it will be up on our website. So they're choosing their doorway of opportunity. They just want to earn their products for free, which most people are going to head towards to start with. Then we're hosting a workshop and we're just referring people. It might just be to spoil promos. That's fine. But this is what you need to do in order to get what you want. and this is what you get from us. So it's just ruling out any assumptions and expectations, which can really come around and bite you in the bum from experience. Never assume anything. It's one of the 4 agreements. We're going to go over that now. Our monthly business meetings. Would love you to join us through the 4 agreements. But this is something that we've learned over time, and is making those assumptions when someone says, I want to build, and actually building are 2 completely different things. So this is why we came up with a success strategy to really just put out there the things that they need to do. And we say, we're here to help you build your business, but we're not here to build your business for you. Your success is entirely up to you. You're part of an amazing supportive team. We're here for you, but we're not going to run your business for you. These are the things that you need to do. This is what you get from us. And then obviously the first steps that you can take in starting your journey. And one of the first things I make sure everybody does is go through the wellness consult and the live guide, because first and foremost, they need to be using the product. They need to be loving the product and gaining the benefits. And they need to have reference material. They need to have their names list. And one of the first things, if you want to just really cut out all of this checklist and keep it really simple for the people that don't have much time and don't want to just digest everything that's given to them, is just say, okay, let's book a workshop. Let's look at hosting a workshop. And that gives you a real gauge of where they're at. It really sorts people out, and put your money where your mouth is. Put your action where the words are, and just let's host a workshop. So I encourage you all to do that as a first port of call in getting people started. And then you've got these amazing resources that are available from doTERRA, things that we've put together, the mentoring program, that the people that really want to just absorb as much as they can. And I've got some amazing people on my team that are doing this. And I really honor you guys for putting in that concerted effort to go and learn the stuff yourself. Take due diligence, and that really shows me how committed you are. And I'm going to give you all the time in the world if you have that due diligence and go out and you do some self-learning and growth. So thank you. So moving right along. So we're going pretty good here for time, guys. And I think this is mostly due to you guys being so so patient and being online and just agreeing with everything that I'm saying, and probably what you've already done yourselves as well, because this is all just, you might be hearing it for the 2nd or the 3rd time. So it's really just sinking in and just being a concrete foundation. Yep. Stretch it out, Karen. Get those side flanks moving. So important to move the body. I don't know about you guys, but one of my daily rituals is exercise on a daily basis. And I'm really passionate about that. You're scared of the word exercise. Just call it movement, go for a walk, get some air, oxygen into your lungs, get the blood flowing, and you'll just be in such a better space to emanate what you have to give to the world. So who's ready for structuring and strategy? Yeah, awesome, let's do it. So this is one of my strengths, right? This is what came up in the Clifton Strength Finder, is structuring and strategy. And so I've kind of replaced support. We're already supporting everything that we've covered through pipes. We're supporting. We're inviting people to follow up classes. That's supporting. We've got people in our Facebook groups. That's supporting. We have people that are contacting us through whatever method. That's supporting. You're there for people. But then at the same time, you're empowering them with material, with places to go, websites, etc. You want to be there for people to support them, but then you also want to empower them, because if you're there for everybody, and we've got a team of 7,300 people now, if I was there for 7,300 people for every question that they had, then I would probably have no hair, or it'd be very grey. Like it's near impossible. Like you cannot do this without all this awesome reference material that you guys have, and the platforms that we've got. So please encourage people to use that. Don't go grey and lose your hair. It's not a good thing to do. Don't put yourself out. This platform, doTERRA, is designed to bring abundance in time and for it to be residual over the time, but we need to go into it with intention of honoring our time and to empower others, and then it all aligns and becomes something beautiful. So it's a relationship business. We've already touched on this, and our first priority is creating these communities of love and support. Like I said right at the start, Natalie and Andy Goddard, the most successful people in doTERRA, they lead with love, and they just love up their tree. That's what they do. Unconditional love and acceptance, forgiveness. So when you're structuring, we're grouping people based on affinity. So when I say affinity, I mean common interests. So these people could live in the same area. If someone's hosting a workshop, first and foremost, someone's hosting a workshop, of course we're going to put everybody that came along to that workshop, enroll them from the host, and we're going to put them underneath the host. So one strategy that you can do with the wholesale customer is you could have the host who's on the top, and then you can have somebody who said, I want to host a workshop, who came along to their event, and you enroll them as a wellness advocate underneath the host. And then underneath that person who's going to host a workshop, you could put the people that enrolled as wellness advocates, because what you're creating there is the first executive leg for that host. So you're being mindful of creating an executive to reach premier for this person who's just hosted the workshop. We're being mindful of structuring correctly from the beginning, but we're prioritizing affinity, which is creating communities of trust, of love, of support that is going to encourage people to grow together. Remember, people do things together. They grow together, they get fit together, they go on a new diet together, they use the oils together. And this is why these class environments or these group environments work so well. And you're creating that residual intention as well, because you want people with common interests to be supporting each other. You can't do it all by yourself. And another learning for us that I'd love to offer to you guys is to just meet people where they're at. And there's a large reason why we came up with the success strategy, and it can be like a quite confronting and daunting document to show people, but it rules out those assumptions and those expectations, because we're meeting where people are at. If people can't host a workshop, then you know where they're at. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you don't like these people, or you're putting you're pushing them into something, because they're in a position that works ideally for you, for them to become a premier, to become a gold, platinum, whatever. You need to meet these people where they're at and where they're placed. So if it's not happening, and the energy isn't being reciprocated, they're not walking with you, then you just go elsewhere. Because the more you focus on that person that isn't doing what you want them to do, then the more you're wasting your time and energy, because you're just focusing on something that's not happening with ease and flow. So taproot, go down. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue to invite and enroll. And when I invite and I enroll, I'm going to come into new people, and I'm just going to solidify my team, my structure even more. And I'm just going to continue to invite people to walk through the doorways of opportunity and to grow to where they're at, to wherever they want to take this journey. So, meet people where they're at. Don't bang your head up against the wall. It can be really painful. You'll get bruising. It's not pretty when you're in front of people trying to present with a black eye. Don't do it. Not cool. And building trust and friendships and your business will grow. So if we're focusing on building that trust and the friendships, and this is different to other business. You don't have employees as such. These are people that you do put your trust in as well, and they will reciprocate that and reciprocate your energy and align with your goals and what you're doing when you build that trust and friendship. You can't fire the people that are in your tree. You can't do that. So embracing the team aspect and working together and growing together is what we need to do. So a little bit on the duplication side of things, and this is something that I've always been mindful of from the start. I do love business. I studied business while I was working in IT in local government for 10 years, and was working towards management and team leader, supervisor positions, and then doTERRA came along, and I decided that I would take that route instead. So business and duplication systems is something that I do love to do. So one thing that's also really important to remember, and this is coming back to you, the person who's responsible, is your team will do what you do. So if you don't do the things, then they're not going to do them. In general, that's how it works. So you need to inspire and support, and you need to walk the walk. You need to invite and enroll and do the classes and the one-on-ones, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Generally, your team is going to do that. Birds of a feather, they flock together, and they're the people that you're going to attract, and they're just going to do what you do. So when it comes back to that frustration, which is probably one of the worst things that you can be experiencing emotionally in your business, is to divert that frustration from where you might be putting the blame back to yourself, and just reflect and say, okay, what can I do to grow and change? And really keeping it simple, and doing things that we've talked about and making it easy to duplicate is going to bring you success. Don't reinvent the wheel. Occasionally I do. I can't help myself because I love systems, and there are gaps that can be filled over time. The first thing that you do when you start doTERRA, it might be to build a website. If you're a website designer, that's fine, because you probably make it in a day. That's cool. If you're not a website designer and you decide to go and embark on that, then you probably made the wrong choice. Use the frameworks. Host a workshop is the first thing you do, right? And use empowered success, and use what the leaders in doTERRA have done. We're all very giving and compassionate people. We're all giving you guys a lot of resources, advice, and support. So really immerse and embrace that. But also embrace technology as well. Because like I said, I did work in IT, so this is something that I do embrace and I do use to my advantage. Use technology, use text messages, use templates for your text messages, still personalize them, but you can get a vast majority of your content, of your message that you're sending out to invite people, as a template, and you can copy and you can paste that in a text message. Really simple way to embrace technology. Start a Facebook group, join a Facebook group, invite people to your leaders' Facebook group. Use Canva. Don't spend your whole day in Canva, but you can easily create engaging posts with Canva. Post My Party is a platform that I use for our Spoil promos and Oil Academy. And the reason why I've embraced that is because I can easily replicate or duplicate what we've created on those two platforms. And I can easily just launch those parties on a monthly basis for our team. and also show our team how to create their own as well if they want. They can use ours, or I can show them how to create their own with Post My Party. And it's really simple. I just share a link and boom, they've got access to my template. The ultimate duplication can be achieved with technology. You can lose yourself in it, just be aware, but do embrace certain parts of it. If you've got the guidance or the experience, do embrace it. So coming up to 5 o'clock here, guys. We haven't got too far to go. Thank you so much for staying with me. I'm going to go through some placement stuff now, and I suspect that there may be some questions in this. First and foremost, always remember to do your placement changes. Set a reminder for yourself, just like we do for the people we're enrolling in LRP. Have enrolled this person, have done this class, have to do the enrollment changes, even if it's for the enroller. Log on to their account, show them or do them yourself. The difference between an enroller and sponsor is the person who introduced your enroller to doTERRA is the enroller. In general, that's how it works. The sponsor is where people are placed in the structure. So, potentially, and this is, you want to think strategically here, when you're placing people based on affinity or common interests or relationships that are already there, maybe even dreams or sports that they have in common, is you're creating communities where potentially the upline sponsor can be the mentor, can be the person who supports them. They may even be gifted in the future, so you can rank advance. You can help them rank advance, which helps you rank advance. So we're creating communities and relationships here. Just touching on gifting, just when you do gift someone, realize that this is a permanent change. So don't just go and gift willy-nilly. It needs to be something that you're completely confident that the sponsor who is becoming the enroller is in the space, has the time to be able to support and mentor the people that you're gifting to them, and they're actually doing something. If they're gifted a position through experience, then it's not rightfully earned through right of consciousness, through right of action, and then they're not really a silver. If you build someone to a silver and they become a silver, they're not really a silver. Their appreciation may not be there if they haven't earned it themselves. So be really mindful with your gifting. We talk about getting your placements on this right from the start, and we've talked a bit about that. So just reiterating, affinity is your number one priority, not volume, not power of three. So you're prioritizing affinity, the relationship, the community as number one. If that can't be achieved, then my second port of call that I do placements based on, if there is no relationship, is for volume or for rank. And then the third priority is power of three. So don't get caught up on when people say, oh, well, I do structuring based on the power of three, or I do placements based on volume or rank. That's what I do, and don't buy into the categorization of that. You need to be mindful of all three of those things to get this right. But when we're talking about prioritization, and the way that I teach people to structure from the beginning is to build two legs. Don't build two legs that have big long stilts like this that are a little bit wonky and hard to support yourself with. Build two legs, but then also build them out. We're building down and across. But we're just focusing under those two people from the beginning. And remember, these two people that we're starting to begin or to build a business with, this is our $1 million real estate. This is prime real estate. So when you're creating your names list, when you're going through your build guide, that those 30 people, think of people that you really want to work closely with for a long period of time, that you love to work with, that you want to work with, and that you can practice on sharing the opportunity with, and perhaps they want to walk on this adventure with you. It doesn't matter if they don't, but you know, maybe they will in the future. Maybe you can use a placeholder strategy, and you can put people that are close family members that are obliged to help you, right? Take advantage of this. These family members that you may want to help, or they may want to help you, and you can put in your top line positions, your first two legs that you're creating, that you can have an open and honest conversation with and say, hey, this is my intention behind this. I would love you to support me on this adventure, on this journey. And this is what I'm asking of you. Can I create an account? I know you love the oils. I'll top up your LRP. And when the time comes, when I have somebody who is a motivated, driven, creative, self-motivated business builder like myself, I'm just going to slot them into your position. And that's a strategy. That's one that's really good for people that don't have the people that are going to work with them in their $1 million real estate straight away. They don't have the belief yet. They haven't had the experience. So you can do that. So reiterating, structure for rank and power of three. It's not one or the other. It's both. Rank, I believe, building Premier will create belief in the opportunity. Building to power of three, or being mindful of power of three, it teaches us how to structure properly. That's it. That's what Emily Wright said to us just the other week during a leadership call. Power of three teaches us how to structure properly. And these wholesale customers, these are great accounts to go into positions that help fill the holes in maybe a $1,500 or a $250 power of three. We're going to look at a couple of graphics in a moment. So we touched on wholesale customer and wellness advocate, and difference between the two, and where we can be placing wholesale customers. There could be a family member, and you know, they might help with volume and power of three. They could also help with that placeholder position. And then you know, you could have a friend who enrolls as a wholesale customer, and you place them in your friend's leg because that's an affinity. Where you place them could be for volume or power of three. Or you could have an enrollee with no affiliation at all with any of your legs. It couldn't be your family leg, it might not be your friend leg, it might not be your work leg, or your common interest leg. There might be someone completely separate, and these accounts, you get the choice of to where you put them. It might be beneficial to help you rank advance. It might be beneficial to help you achieve the power of three. So you get the choice of where you put these people who don't have an affinity. It is a little gift, a little blessing to these people that come along. And wellness advocate, when we are enrolling people as wellness advocates straight away, some of the things you need to think about is, you know, are they likely to maintain a 100 PV order from the get-go, from the start, when you're placing people on your top line? Because when you're building under these two people, ultimately you want these people to at least be doing 100 PV LRP. Because at first that might not be achievable for you to be doing 100 PV LRPs. In general, that's not achievable for most people. So you want these people to be at least loving the products and gaining the benefits from the loyalty rewards program, and to be at least open to sharing and referring people to you to begin with. And these people on your top line, they don't necessarily have to be your ranking people ongoing. You remember, you're meeting people where they're at, and you could be ranking off people on your third, your fourth, your fifth level. Beyond that, ideally not. But some very successful leaders, Alice Nichols, for example, shared at One Tree after convention this year, that one of her presidential diamond ranking platinums is on her 20th level. So she actually gets no uni level bonus from one of her platinum teams. So we do want to be mindful about, you know, where this volume is coming from, and try to keep it towards the top of your organization. So I'm going to move right through. Is all of this making sense so far, guys? Yes. Awesome. Cool. So this is a question that gets asked because there has been some teachings where people were doing, you know, what I said not to do, where, you know, you get the big pearl chains, right? I'm not saying pearl chains is wrong. It is one way to do it. There's more than one way to peel a grave, right? We know that. You can build pearl chains, and that's a strategy. But what happens if we keep on pearl chaining down, and you know, we have people, sorry, we're enrolling people beyond a level where we're going to earn uni level. To me, that just doesn't make sense. So through knowing that doTERRA has the retention rate of 65 to 70%, then if you have a line of 10 people you know, going down, 6 or 7 of those people are going to be ordering on a regular basis. They're going to be taking advantage of the monthly order, the loyalty rewards program. So you know, to really just cut through everything that's on the screen and what to discuss, like when people ask me this question, how deep should I build? I say no deeper. You should not put anyone at, and for no reason, deeper than 10 levels. And that's because that retention rate, that average retention rate, you're going to be earning off all of those 7 people that are going to be reordering. So there's some simple arithmetic there. There's some simple math. But as an elite, this changes. So for an elite, I wouldn't be encouraging to build 10 levels down, because they only get paid 5 levels in uni level commission. And remember, this is one of the bigger ways to earn and to structure correctly, to, you know, build down and wide. So with our 65 to 70% of customers reordering, we can go to you know, 2 or 3 levels deeper than 5 at maximum. So at max, 7 to 8 levels deep for an elite to get paid uni level on all of those levels. We do not put any personal enrollments deeper than that. And then we go to Premier and Silver, and we're looking at that 10, you know, that 10 level max for that average retention rate. You know, it's people, 7 people out of those 10 on average that are going to be ordering. So when we're building down, we're also building across. Just, you know, remember, it's a combination of structuring strategy based on volume, on rank, and power of 3, building wide and building down. Ideally, we keep our personal enrollments in the top 4 layers though. So this is just a graphical representation of the concept of keeping your personal enrollments in the top 4 layers of your organization. You know, when ideally we're not going down, and when I say the absolute max is 10, like it's not ideal, but like the absolute max is 10. And you can, like, I'm happy for you to do that, but just don't go beyond that, please. And it's been found that you know, the sweet spot for these personal enrollments is actually the 4th level, and the reason why the sweet spot for level 4 is that you actually never need to gift these personal enrollments to allow people to rank advance. So once you're building your organization, and you're creating communities, and you're helping people rank advance, then you have some contingency. So if you're a silver, let's just say if you're a goal and you're building people to Premier, you may have 2 or 3 Premiers in one leg, and that's completely fine, because when you're putting people down on the 4th level, they're your personal enrollment, but then you've also got somebody on the top line that's your personal enrollment. That was the first person you ranked of 2 gold being Premier, and then perhaps, you know, maybe they've slowed down a little bit and they're not organically hitting Premier, but then you've got someone on the 4th level who is going gangbusters and is a Premier, is going to be a diamond one day. Then you can focus your energy and attention on that person that's on your 4th level. That's your personal enrollment. And this also really works in your favor for you know, taking advantage of uni level as well, in getting paid up to 7 levels deep. So because we're embracing and we're using wholesale customers, you know, it's a new thing that we're learning and embracing and using, is you know, where do I place them when I'm first starting out? Because I've got some people, placeholders, people that I'm working with that are wellness advocates, and I'm placing people underneath them. So where do I put these wholesale customers? Do I put them on my top line? Do I put them in my down line? And the answer to that is yes and yes. It depends. It depends on all the things that we discussed: affinity, volume, power of 3. Putting all of these things into consideration and in priority as well. So perhaps if you haven't got a 3rd sharer when you're first starting out, and this is how it worked great to get you the power of 3, is you could have 2 people that are committed to 100 PVRP, and you're building underneath, but you want to get the power of 3 $50 US, which is worth about $70 at the moment with the conversion rate. And you can put these wholesale customers on your top line. You could even put no more than 3, because remember, you need a 600 volume requirement between you and your top line to get the power of 3, and this goes down. So you could put some wholesale customers on your top line to help you achieve the power of 3. And you could also put them down lower in your organization. So back on this this diagram, if you were to place them on affinity or volume, then you could place them underneath that WA that you see on your far left there. So I do, like, wholesale customer is great, because this is really teaching us how to structure correctly and moving away from these big long pearly chains, and getting the balance between building for volume down and across, and embracing both of those factors of structuring and getting structuring right from the start. So when you have your 3rd or your 4th you know, solid builders, and you could have somebody who's you know, considering to upgrade or move into a wholesale customer to support volume in a weaker leg. So you've got 2 really strong legs here, and they're going to be your 2 legs that got you to Premier, that got you walking and running in doTERRA. That's how we get started. We build 2 legs to walk, to run, to get momentum in this business. But then we're starting to build out wider. We have to continue to build out to go up through the ranks. So we're building to silver as our next step after Premier. And you've got your 3rd silver that's just starting out and perhaps needs a little bit of help in order to get you to silver. It's a weaker leg to begin with. And if the choice is right, with affinity, with volume, with power of 3, putting all of these things into consideration, this wholesaler customer that we've got on our top line, when we upgrade them after 90 days, we can move them anywhere if they're a personal enrollment into that 3rd weaker leg is a great place to move them to. Remember, we need to send an email to placements at this stage when we do upgrade them to a wellness advocate. And transferring a wholesale customer is another strategy that we can do. And we can transfer a wholesale customer when they upgrade inside their first 90 days into a WA position in their sponsor tree. So in this example here, the sponsor tree is your whole tree. So be mindful of this. If you have a wholesale customer and a wellness advocate that fit this move, then be mindful of where you put this wholesale customer, because if you want to put them into a position that's to the top level of your organization, then you want to put your wholesale customer at the top level of your organization. You want to be the enroller and the sponsor, so you get the choice to where you put them anywhere in your organization. But inside of that 90 days, they click the button, upgrade to a wellness advocate, and you fill out the transfer form using DocuSign. You send it to placements. After the upgrade has occurred, then you can transfer them in to that wellness advocate account. So you need this wellness advocate. So I'm just going to do this little animation again. This wellness advocate that is our third one along here. Let's just say they said that they wanted to do this. They wanted to walk this path with you, and they haven't, it's not working out for them, or they've changed their mind. Has anybody had this happen to me? Hello, yes, everybody does. So this is why placements and doTERRA recognize this, and they give us these opportunities to rectify the situation. And by being able to move a wholesale customer, here comes the animation, bang, into that wellness advocate position, when they upgrade, and here comes the next part of it, boom, to a wellness advocate inside of 90 days, they can move into these positions. So for this to happen, the wholesale customer, so just backing it up a bit here, the wellness advocate who's currently in that position, they need to sign a transfer form with DocuSign. Placements prefer DocuSign. You can get a free account. It'll last for 30 days, but then you have to pay after that. They need to sign DocuSign, and the new person who's transferring into the account, the wholesale customer, needs to sign the transfer account, and then the existing account holder, so that WA that's on the top line that's going to be transferring out of that position, A, needs to be open, and B, they need to send the DocuSign document that has been signed by themselves and the wholesale customer to placements. They have to send it with the email that's registered against their doTERRA account. Now, that might seem like a lot to consider and to put into place. So this needs to be a worthwhile move. You get used to doing these things and it becomes second nature, but the first time it's going to be a little bit confusing. But just remember, WA needs to be on side, they need to sign DocuSign, and they need to send that transfer form to placements at doTERRA within 3 days of the new person enrolling, if it's not an existing wholesale customer, or the wholesale customer upgrading to a wellness advocate, okay? Has to happen within 3 days. The DocuSign, the signed documents, and emailed from the existing wellness advocate. So just be mindful of this before your grand scheme comes to fruition of this new and inspired wellness advocates moving into a key position. Is everybody getting that? Does that make sense? Clear as mud? Awesome. Sweet. Okay. We've got a young advocate here. Karina's got 2 young advocates. They're learning at a young age, but it's never too early, right? They can get their account when they're 18. So we've touched on a little bit on growth as being like a really essential part of our adventure in doTERRA. And if reading's your thing, do some reading. In that One Thing mentoring document that I shared with you guys at the start, look at the recommendations in there. These are some of my favorite books that I've read and love. And I love audiobooks Some people aren't readers, and I just say, cool, well, you know, have you tried audio? And it's something that's great to just have on in the background, just to listen to as you're doing mundane activities, washing the dishes, hanging the washing out, perhaps even driving long distances. Great opportunity to immerse yourself in some personal growth. So we need to be constantly growing ourselves in this adventure. And this may be reflective, this may it may resonate with you as to where you're up to. And I'm not saying that, you know, you guys are just starting out, you're just a baby, you're just a wee baby. But that may be reflective of where you are in your doTERRA adventure, and that's cool, you know. We all have to start somewhere. Renee and I, we started as little babies, and we learned, we had to learn, we had to grow. And you know, once again, these working at the belief levels in doTERRA as you work up through the ranks in growing yourself and your team, and what you need to focus on and continue to work on. I'm not sure if there's a male animation for this, but I'm going to put the request in, so I don't look too good in a female business attire. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I do. We won't go there. So, just on this subject, to continue, like some common things that I've come across myself as a challenge, and then also with team. These are some things that I've just seen come up and can be a challenge to work with or to work through. For some people, and you know, one of the biggest things is blame versus responsibility. You know, we can always put the blame out there. Oh, it's my mum's fault. It's my dad's fault. It's my partner's fault. It's my team's fault. It's the world's fault. You can say that, but you're taking the power away from yourself. So if you just own up and take responsibility, even when it's not fair and it doesn't, you know, you shouldn't be like taking, but it was them, they did it, it's there. No, if you take responsibility, you are taking the power back, and you're putting yourself in the position to make the change. So I encourage you, blame versus responsibility. Even when it doesn't seem fair, do it. And this is a big one in network marketing. Is just to overcome the fear of what other people think, believe, and say about you and what you do. Don't be affected. Don't take it personally. One of the other 4 agreements from Don Miguel's 4 agreements is don't take things personally, because we can get stuck in that victim mentality, and we can get caught up in that drama of, oh, you know, these people are saying this and that about me, and that's just going to slow you down. So just be really true in what you believe in. So I'm loving that you love the 4 agreements, Karina. That's why I love doing what I do, is just to share what I've learned and gained from this experience. When I have somebody say to me, I love that protocol that you showed me with the oils, that has done this profound thing in my life. I love how you just shared that book that was beneficial for you. It's also helped me. So that's really what ignites my passion in what we do, in just helping other people achieve that happiness, health, and abundance. But these are just 2 things that that you just need to be aware of, that I've seen it as a common thing that comes up in network marketing. And just remember that you can never do anything but control your thoughts and actions. You can never control anything but your own thoughts, actions, and emotional responses. You cannot do anything outside of that. You don't have any full control of anything outside of that, even your environment. If you try and control your environment, that'll lead to anxiety. If you can try and control others, it'll be manipulative and controlling, and it won't work. All you can do is focus on what you do and emanate. Lead by example. Focus on that. So we do have access to the global market though. And if really the sky is the limit, there are no limits. This is another thing that I love about network marketing and doTERRA is, as long as we're putting it out there, then the sky is the limit, and we can achieve anything that we want. And this is something that was shared with me some time ago from the the first enroller in doTERRA, Justin Harrison, and I loved it. And it's that focused energy of you focusing. If you're prioritizing, when people say to you, I don't have the time, it just means that it's not a priority. So a more realistic response would be, it's not a priority. So where do you prioritize doTERRA and doing the things that you want to do? Where do you want to take this? Well, what are you willing to sacrifice or to shuffle around in your life to prioritize the things that you need to do in doTERRA, and to love and enjoy and have fun in the process? Because you can do that as well. It is awesome. You are the creator. Where are you going to prioritize that energy over time? And when you multiply that by belief and inspiring others to believe, then that is going to be huge success for you in wherever you want to take this doTERRA adventure and journey. So here's a little video just to share with you guys, which is a key takeaway for me.
Team, I was going through some old doTERRA checks this morning and found one that was $13.73 for the month. This was 4 or 5 months after I signed up. It doesn't feel very rewarding when you know you're not getting paid what you're worth. But remember, this is not a job. We're building a pipeline. I haven't met a single leader in doTERRA that has paid their dues and put in the consistent work and effort that has ever regretted it. Think about it. For most of us, we're sharing something that we would probably be sharing anyways. We're helping those that need our help and want a better way. You can't be successful in this business and not change countless other lives during your journey. People will be thanking you forever and have so much gratitude towards you because you were the one that introduced them, taught, or shared with them these amazing oils. I've been doing this long enough to know that the general process that everyone goes through as they're trying to build their doTERRA business. I also know the outcome for those that stick with it. The ones that decide, commit, and are consistent. We have so many people on our team that couldn't dream in a million years that their life would change so dramatically by helping others. I'm one of them. So remember, you are no different than everyone else that has found success with doTERRA. I'm a firm believer that the only way to fail with doTERRA is to flat out quit. You all have inspired me. I'm grateful for the type of people that doTERRA attracts. Thank you for all that you do to change lives, including your own. I know what it's like to be an elite, okay, a premier, a brand new silver, etc. And oftentimes in our business, we have people that come up to us and they say, you know what, I'm trying really hard. I'm working my tail off. I'm putting a lot of time into it, talking to a lot of people, having classes. And, you know, my paycheck, it just seems like, you know, because I divide by the number of hours that I'm working or that I've spent doing this business, and you know, it averages out to about, you know, $1.27 per hour or $2.75 per hour. And they say, you know, it just seems like I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. And I tell them, I said, you're absolutely right. You know, you're not getting paid what you're worth. You're building a pipeline, and that takes time. And so as long as you see the big picture and you know what's down the road, okay, that your time is going to be worth so much more I'm so glad that I went the route we did and stuck with it and treated it like a business. And it's definitely paid off. A lot of people asking, so where are you at now? You know, what's your check now? And I'm happy to inform you that $15 has now doubled, okay? Actually, it's doubled to 30, but it's actually every 15 minutes, okay? 24 hours a day, all day long, 7 days a week, 365, year round. So I guess you could say, I'm glad I didn't quit.
Okay. What do you guys think? So really good message there from Jared. Is part of that is, you know, you treat it like a business and it will be a business. You treat it like a hobby, it'll be a hobby. And I'm sure you guys have actually heard this come up. So I want to thank you so much for your time. You guys have been absolute marathon people coming through this training and lasting for 3.5 hours. My gosh. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have about anything. If you want to ask a question that's specific to the group here, are you happy to share that? And then I'm happy to answer it. Tracy says she shared the 4 grams book and it never came back. It was obviously needed more in the lives. Yeah. I attended an Eckhart Tolle thing, and because I fell in love with Power of Now, and I was sat next to a guy, and I said, "Oh, I've got like 3 or 4 copies," and I just lend it out to people, but they haven't come back. And he's like, "Oh, haven't you heard that? No, that's just the thing. You lend books to people, and they don't expect it to be returned." And they're like, "Really? Is that a thing?" Okay, well, yeah, didn't realize. So what do you guys think? You got any questions at all? My pleasure, Janine. All good. Don't be shy, guys.
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you. Very good.
My pleasure, Jody. And do you think the people in New Zealand will gain something out of that?
Yeah, I do. Is this the similar or same training that you're doing?
It's going to be similar, yeah. But I'm also open to any feedback that you might have that may be more specific or needed in New Zealand.
I think it's really relevant. I think that New Zealand and Australia are very similar. Obviously, there's differences, but you know, I've screenshotted a lot of that, and I was writing notes and stuff, and just thinking about my team and how that's going to influence them and what they're looking for. And it is basic stuff, you know, because everything's repeat, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
it's just
that whole definition of insanity philosophy. There's a lot like slight little tweaks that come along the way in the way that we present things, like with empowered success. The Gallup Strength Finder is something new that is going to be really embraced. But in essence, it all has the same outcome with sharing the oils and sharing the opportunity. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And look, feel free to, if anything comes to mind where you think, hey, the New Zealand market could really do with some information around this, then let me know, and I'd love to include that.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll put my head together and think about it. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. No worries. Because sometimes it helps coming from somebody else as well, I've found.
Yep.
And you guys might be aware of this in your relationship. It's what is it called? An intervention?
Yeah, exactly. And we've just had boot camp in Auckland with Jesse came out, and Steph Berg and the Adam and the crew were there, and it was specific to New Zealand, which is different but similar. We've got a lot of similarities to Australia. Obviously a different market and different mindset, and that all plays influence. If all you guys are from Australia, you'll have your own things that that a lot of the Australians will think or say, or they might have a certain mindset around stuff. So it's just we've been exploring that, and it's actually really interesting looking at the slight tweaks.
And it's the same with the US and America. I mean, US and Australia. A lot of the stuff that we were getting in the earlier days, it was all just American material.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work here anyway.
No. Yeah.
It's good. And I presume with leadership coming up and Empowered Success being rolled out at that, and everything will be compliant by then as far as material goes, it's going to be a lot easier to implement what we're doing on a level playing field.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's so good that doTERRA has embraced that platform, and it's available to everybody. There's no excuses to reinvent the wheel, really. It's all there.
I know that it's so good.
I've just got a question here. Thank you so much, Jody. Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to know that there is still some differences that I have to be mindful of for Australia and New Zealand. So I'll be probing my mate Liv and saying, hey, what can I change in this? Are you able to share the links to all the videos? Yes, I can. With enrolling, I had one sister come to a class who was already with doTERRA. Then the other sister who was hosting the class wanted to purchase through me. Clearly, they will be enrolled under a different WA. Is there a way you handle this ethically, or simply enroll that second sister? So the only way that you can change teams is if you go inactive for 6 months. And then it's just an email to placements@doTERRA and to say, my current enroller and sponsor, and this is my new, where I'd like to enroll my new enroller and sponsor. And it comes back to it being the person's choice. So I encourage them to grow where they're planted. So if there's a difference between going out and actively poaching people and saying, hey, you should join my team. You should totally because I'm going to give you some free oils or something like that. So that's poaching with intent. Is if you've got a sister and she's just attended a class and enrolled and doesn't have the intention to share or anything like that, doesn't have a relationship with her enroller, and she wants to join with you, or she wants to change teams, that's her choice. You're not encouraging her to do it, but the ethical way to do it, the proper way to do it, is come across to your team just through that email.
I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, yep.
So this one sister came and she was already enrolled with doTERRA, and then the host of that class was the other sister. So the host now has been enrolled under me. So what I mean is their sisters are now split between two different WAs.
Right. So it's not your sister.
No.
The sister.
She I mentioned to her, look, it might be best you go enroll under your sister, except they don't want to sell. They didn't want anything to do with enrolling. So I then enrolled her, and then, it went that way. So I just wasn't sure if there was a particular way that I do need to say, no, you need to be enrolled under that line.
Yeah.
Because it is her sister, or it doesn't particularly matter?
Yeah, look, it comes back to the whole have you heard of doTERRA thing before. And some people may become possessive of who they feel are their rightful enrollerships or enrollees. And some people might feel that if I've enrolled somebody, and then as somebody that they know enrolls under somebody else, then that has been taken from me. So that could be how some people will think. Is that the case?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, I was just wondering. I don't see it being an issue because they both sort of they're not interested in the sort of sharing business side. They're more just buyers and users. So I don't see it being an issue. But if it potentially was, what you would be doing is, I guess, going inactive and then swapping it back to a sister or whatever.
That's the only thing that you can do. So if the issue is raised, if either the enroller of the present place where the person feels like they should be aligned under the system who've originally enrolled, whether she wants to move there, or if that is raised, then there's only one option, and that's to go inactive for 6 months and then move across.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all that can happen. But the only way that we can avoid this from happening is always ask that question: have you heard of doTERRA before?
Mm.
And then giving them the choice and saying, hey, well, if your sister is doing it and introduced you, then you should go back to your sister.
Mm.
And then you will find, like, when you give people that choice, they'll just choose who they want to go with. And we've had people that we've introduced to the oils and have gone through, everything, gone beyond, above and beyond on providing them with experience and support, and they have chosen not to enroll with us, and it's for various reasons. Most of the time, it's them, it's not us, so you can't take it personally. One instance, one lady was jealous of Renee. She just said, I was like, this only came up like a year after she chose to enroll with somebody else. And Renee, she was really quite traumatic for Renee because Renee doesn't do aroma touch, right? Like, I'm a aroma touch trainer. Renee just doesn't do the touching of bodies thing. But she actually offered this lady to come and have an aroma touch, and Renee did it for this lady, which was quite traumatic in itself. And then this lady, she just went quiet, just went completely cold. And then I think it was like 6 months or a year later, when Renee was just following her up, as you do, the lady said, oh, look, I've enrolled with somebody else. And Renee was like, oh, just a matter of interest, is there anything that I can do to improve, what I do or anything like that? And the lady just openly said, look, I was jealous of you. So, don't take it personally if somebody does choose to not enroll with you. You don't want to be working and force people into it anyway. You want to work with people that you resonate with you, that aren't hard work. And to give them that choice while also following that doTERRA code of have you heard of doTERRA before is how we go into it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, Karen. That's a really good question. It is something that does come up that can be a challenge to work through. Just realize that there's enough people to go around, and as you practice that code, that ethic, then that will just be reciprocated through to you. Jodie's just also said the other thing is the other people, the second sister enrolled up, they need to be considered. Sorry, Jodie, you want to just clarify?
I was just thinking, I don't know if, so when the second sister enrolled through you, did she have other people enroll with her that day at the oil share?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's another consideration, because if she goes inactive and moves to her sister's team, those people that she enrolled either follow suit or they stay with you. So it can become a little bit awkward. And I guess I would personally, for me, I would have the conversation like really early on now and say, this is what I've learned. I know you don't want to do the business, and that's awesome, but you have already shared, and these people I'm going to look after them with you. And I'd go down that route. She's already there. She's already got people there. So maybe anchor her in and have her loving you, your team, and what you can offer. And she's not going to want to shift.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, and her sister might come over. I've got friends and family and siblings who are on different teams in different countries, and it works.
Yeah, right.
They don't have to be together. I mean, sometimes we just can't. This doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks, Jodie.
I think that's why doTERRA have been really wise in their one tree mentality as well, and what is been embraced by a lot of the leaders of just, you know, supporting, no matter if it's in your tree, in your cousin's tree, or your next door neighbor's tree. They're just loving up and supporting everybody, no matter where they are. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you need to prioritize people that are from a completely separate organization. But when you have that one tree abundant mentality, then you're not focusing on the stuff that can kind of like slow you down and get you down. And you're just constantly lifting each other up. So Karina's just saying, I've had this 3 times this week enrolling with someone else, but then coming back to me for advice. Yeah. So we've got the, have you heard of doTERRA? But then it's also really important to tell people that you've shared the oils with, to come back to you when they're ready to get a kit, or when they're ready to get oils. You know, also in a loving and gentle way as well. Like, you don't want to make them feel like they don't have a choice, because they do have a choice, and we've got to honor that. But then to remember to say that, say, hey, when you're ready to get a kit, I'm doing this as a business now. Let them know where you're at. I'm doing this as a business, and I would love your support. So when you're ready to get the oils, come and see me. We'll go through a wellness consult together, and I'll help you get the most out of your oils and your wholesale account. And you're just letting them know what you have to offer, and they'll more likely come back to you. Like more, 100% more likely come back to you. Yeah, so sharing your why can also help in that situation as well sometimes, because people will resonate. That's a really good point, Tracy. People will resonate with you. You're going to attract people that are have similar values and are in a similar situation to you in life. It's just, you know, the laws of the universe. So you're going to have more young mums in your team. They're the people that you're going to be attracting. So if you share your why of what you're creating, what you want to create through sharing doTERRA, being able to having a source of income, but still be a mum that can look after and provide for her children and family, then people are going to say, yeah, that's awesome. I totally want to be supportive of that. I want that too. So that's a really good point, Tracy. I love that. Awesome. So does anybody else have any other questions?
I actually have one more thing, Byron. So when you're starting out with placements, obviously you've got no one on your top line, so you have to put them somewhere, right? So I mean, the first person you have to do is a wellness advocate, and then you do have those 90 days to move them. But where are you going to move them to? They're on your top line.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I've got so my best friend, a couple of my, people that I would consider to be up there. However, we haven't sort of gone through a lot of the in-depth stuff yet. And maybe I do need to move them. But I'm just thinking, do I put people, like pretend people in place? Like, how do you do that from the very get-go?
Yep. So this is where a couple of different placement strategies come in, and coming back to what you touched on about, I suppose I haven't spoken about the opportunity. So first and foremost, speak about the opportunity with the people that you want to work with closely, the people that you want to be on this journey for a long period of time, and build something together. But then also know that these people that are helping you, supporting you when you're first starting out, they don't have to be the people that are there forever, long term. It could be somebody down the line. That's okay. And one strategy is the placeholder strategy, where you have a close friend, a family member that is open to relinquishing or giving up their position.
Right. So basically just making it like clear at the beginning that we could potentially be swapping them out down the future, having those conversations and keeping it open. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then, where you start building down. So this is something where we went wrong when we first started out, is we built, we didn't build anything. We had 30 people on our top line when we first started out, because we were taught that you only build under people who are building. That's why we were looking for builders, right? So we just had this long line of people. So it's good and okay to start somewhere. So if you have somebody who you've opened up to about earning your oils for free, and they want to earn their oils for free, and they're hosting a workshop and referring people, that could be someone for your top line. They may not be a diamond in the future, but it's somebody who is more likely to retain 100 PV LRP and is going to help you get to Premier.
Yeah.
And then with the wholesale customers, you can, as 90 days goes by and you're introducing them to the doorways of opportunity and they want to earn their oils for free, then you can move them. And when you upgrade them to a wellness advocate, you can move them into the down line of where you need them based on affinity, the power of 3.
So it's quite easy to do a transfer or swap into that position for any new person. Is that exactly what you were going through just previously? So transferring.
Yeah. So really similar for the wholesale customer going into a wellness advocate position like we focused on. But if it's somebody that you're transferring in, it needs to be somebody brand new, so hasn't had a doTERRA account. If they're going to be a wellness advocate straight away, it's the same process. DocuSign, transferring straight into the position, and done within 3 days. And it's a little bit of a dance. It's a bit of an orchestration, but yeah, you can do it when it's the right person.
Yeah, righto.
And yeah, it's definitely worthwhile.
Okay.
Just make sure it's the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need some of those.
Yeah. Look, just keep on putting it out there, and they'll come along as well. You'll have gone through the build guide. You'll have gone through the 6 stress strategy, and you get that gut feeling, and you can see it. These are the people that you want to work with. And they're coachable, they're creative, they're motivated, and they're in it for the long haul. And that's the people you want to transfer into those positions.
Thank you.
Awesome, no worries. Tracy is just sharing. If I have about 8 people on my top line, impossible to make it perfect. That's a really good point. So you see all these diagrams in all the training that we get, and they're just these perfect diagrams. It's kind of like when you study biology and they give you a representation of a cell, the mitochondria, and here's the endoplasmic reticulum for those who did biology. But you get what I'm saying, like you can draw something, but in real life, it could be something completely different, and they draw it that way purely so it's just easy to understand, and it's a framework. It's a framework that you work towards, but doesn't mean that it has to be exactly like that. It doesn't, like, to have the perfect structure is near impossible, and it will actually hinder and slow you down to try and achieve the perfect structure of, on my top line, I've got 3 people, they're all on 100 PV LRP, and then I've got 2 other legs, and then there's 3 other people, and they're all on LRP, and I get the $1,500 LRP, and everyone does their 100p LRP every month. And
we all dream of that.
wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? And look, we can still aim for it, but we're not beating ourselves up when we don't actually achieve that perfect world power tree diagram that we see. Yeah, if I was to show you, they're all perfectly imperfect. Is everything in life is perfectly imperfect, embracing the beauty in imperfection. That's what's that's the lesson to take away there. Do you guys have any more questions at all that you'd like to share or ask?
I don't. This has been awesome. Really, really awesome, Byron. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And thank you so much for participating as well, guys. Just hearing from you, the interaction throughout, and showing up and lasting the distance as well. Done well.
Been great. Really good.
Awesome, guys. Well, I will. I'm going to sign off because I think Renee's calling me to find out what pizza has been ordered, and I won't tease you with what pizzas we're going to get. But I hope you have an awesome evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I look forward to catching up soon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Nice to see everybody. Nice to meet you all.
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait to see you in New Zealand, Jody. And yeah, it's good to have everybody here. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Byron.
Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.